833-288-0973. 833-288-0973 is our phone number. We are here for you. The helpline, Ben and Woods helpline, is open this morning. Great to be back. Happy Monday, everybody. Ben and Woods, 97.3 The Fan. It's not coming through on the YouTube feed, but I am a cooked tomato. You can't really see it with the light and the camera, but your boy is like a boiled lobster right now. I'm sunburned as all get out. I've got the chills, then I got the shakes, and then I'm like super hot, and then I get the shakes again. Holy cow. Good to be back, though. Good to see my friends here, Ben and Woods. I am Woods. Good to see my friend Paul Reindl, the executive producer of the program. Good morning, Paulie.
Hey, how are you?
Doing great, man, other than the sunburn.
You okay?
No, it's been like 5 days since I broadcasted. I'm a wreck. Then you got Ben Higgins, your friendly neighborhood sports anchor. You just tan. I just burn and crisp like bacon.
Good morning.
Good morning, buddy.
I've also got the shakes and the chills, although it's just from watching baseball, I think, over the weekend.
That was a rough one, man.
Kind of makes you feel a little ill at times watching this team.
It was
yesterday's win, notwithstanding. I know everyone's going, now everything's fine now, right? No, it's not all fine. We will get into it, of course, but it is good to be back in our Odyssey San Diego studios after spending last week in our Odyssey Chicago studios. Yeah. I do understand there is a bit of pent-up frustration from the Padres fan base, as we did not have a show on Thursday. We were traveling, and then on Friday, it was the holiday, so we also did not have a show that day, which means...
Thank God, by the way.
Thank
God, by the way. If we had to do a show last Thursday, I don't know what that would have sounded like.
That would have been the morning after the 23-3 absolute drubbing.
We were there.
For a few minutes.
Not that long. I got texts, people going, you're at that game, right? I go,
no, not anymore.
We're not hostages. They don't make you stay the entire time. I'm sorry.
I had somebody text me and said, brother, I've been in my hotel room for an hour.
We experienced it. We went to the rooftop bleachers. We enjoyed a lot of food. We were there like an hour before the game. We were there for about an hour during the game, and that was it. There was no real reason other than if we wanted to get obscenely fat, eating unlimited hot dogs and beef sandwiches and hamburgers and ice cream. There was no other reason to stay at that game. It was just one of the most brutal Padres games I have ever witnessed in my life.
Headbanging Dude says, feels like you guys owe Braden because he talked for like 10 straight hours on the radio Thursday. No, he actually just did one show and replayed it, right? That's my understanding. Yes. Is that he just replayed it.
Yes.
So, listen.
You just do one segment and replay it like 32 times.
You could.
The rest of the day.
You could. Man, the trip obviously was great, other than the baseball and the weather, which are two things that our friends at Hop Run Tours could not control. And he kept asking, hey, what could I have done to make this trip better? I said, change the weather and make the team win, which are two things out of your control and out of our control. When I say out of our control, it's out of our control. I want people to know this, because if you look at my DMs, it's my fault and your fault and your fault and this station's fault and Adam's fault. It's out of our control. These guys played a really bad stretch of baseball, and we were there to witness most of it. And it did. I'll say this. It did put a damper on the trip. It did.
Oh, 100%.
It did. It did put a damper on the trip. There's no question about it. We love, this team and want great things for them.
We brought 60 people who paid good money and didn't get to see, we went on the first game that we went to was Tuesday night's game. Fernando hit a leadoff home run. Yeah. And that was the only real thing that we saw as Padres fans that was worth getting excited about.
Yeah, man. And it's just been a really crap stretch of baseball for this baseball team. And so, it was, but it was a fun weekend, man. It was good to get back. Now the trip home was great. We loaded up onto the bus. And all of us, two big buses. That's how many listeners there were, man. Two giant, travel coaches, really nice buses, like tour bus style. And loaded our bags in, and we went to Johnny's Beef. And we tried the world-famous beef sandwiches. We had a whole thing about it, the dipped, the non-dipped, the sweet versus hot, all of that. Dude, let me tell you, it's in a neighborhood I'd never been in before. Johnny's Beef. It's close to the airport. So the next time you're out there, I'd build in half an hour, 45 minutes.
Worth it. It was the best thing I ate on the trip. That sandwich, I got the combo, hot and sweet peppers, wet, which had a sausage, it had the beef, and had plenty of peppers in the hot giardiniera. I thought that we're going to be beef. We're going to be miserable standing in the sun eating hot sandwiches that are dripping before we go to the airport. I was not. It was a phenomenal bite of food. Just unbelievable.
Yeah, it was so good. And the Ben & Woods tier ones that came out and hung with us, it warms your heart. It does. And got pulled aside a couple times. Well, really nice guy pulled me aside and said, "Look, I know you guys talk about sometimes you're not feeling it. The show's not good." He goes, "Your show's always good. And I wanted to tell you that. Even when you think it's bad, it's still very good." So I really appreciate that message that I got from Scott. It was great, man. People were very kind in person and not so kind online, which is usually the way that it goes. But it was a bad run of baseball. So we get to Johnny's Beef. We all sucked down our beef sandwich, and then it hit me. We're about to have 60 people on a plane that have just sucked down a giant beef sandwich. This could get really, 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 really rough. This could get really rough. And it was fine. We get to the gate. We get on our plane. No problem, except for the second we sit down. And I will give you credit, Ben. Ben didn't say a word. This is not Ben's jinx. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the pilot speaking. Just want to let you know, air traffic control is just radio down. So we're going to be about an hour and a half delay on the plane. And everyone just
on the plane.
So we're locked in.
We are on the plane.
Seatbelt on.
They said an hour and 45 minutes on the plane.
On the plane.
And I had my headphones on, and I go, did he just effing say?
Yeah, he did. So now I start to panic. The beef is boiling up in my belly.
They were like, we're calling back to see if we can let you all off the plane. It's going to be so long.
The beef is boiling up in my belly, and it's hotter than fish grease on that plane. And I keep going up to the air to turn it on, just thinking if I keep jiggering it, it will come on. And I'm like, it's got to come on. Please come on. Turn the air on. What? It's not coming on. And I'm sitting, and then I start to sweat, dude. And the beef is coming up and the whole thing. And I'm like, just chill, man. Just chill. Read a book, watch a movie.
It's then 95 degrees on that that runway.
And then you hear, ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking again. I just want to let you know, radio traffic control just called down again. It's going to be about 35 minutes, so no big deal. We'll get you out as soon as we can. Oh, thank God. So we got out. Now, the best part was, and again, I'm a parent of 2 kids. I'm a parent of 2 demon seeds, to be honest with you. The little kid behind us, he was probably 2. And he was just finding his voice. Mm. He is finding his voice at 2 years old. And we've all, Ben, you remember those days? The sheer panic you feel when you get on a plane and your kid won't shut the F up is like the most excruciating thing, whether it's crying or just talking. He doesn't know volume control. So he was sitting right behind me. All we heard was, "I want to see outside." His dad, calm as can be. "We don't have a window." "I want to see outside." "We don't have a window. There's no window." He was in one of those seats with no window. So Paulie had a window next to him. The guy behind him had a window. It was just.
Oh, they asked us to keep them closed so the plane.
No,
didn't
but there was no
the
plane. But there was no plane. There was no window in his. Sometimes
he didn't have a window.
Sometimes the way the seats are staggered, it just doesn't line up. That not everybody gets that window, and it was just like it was like a eunuch's penis. It was just flat. Or lack thereof. So there's nothing there for him to raise. "I want to see outside." There's no window. "I want to see outside." We don't have a window. "I want to see outside." There's no window.
And then it turned into,
"I want to see outside." There's no window. Over and over and over and over and over and over. "I want to see outside." There's no window.
He was right.
There's no window. There's no window. There's no window. There's no window. So, and I got noise cancelings in. Paulie's got big ass Run DMC headphones on. Like, we're hearing everything. It went on for like 30 minutes. Finally, the plane takes off and everything's fine. And he was really good the whole time. But it was, we got home, no problem. Got back to the house. My kids had made me little welcome home dad signs. It's the welcome I've always wanted. And it was great, man. Had a great weekend with them. and went swimming a bunch. We did a lot of swimming. Went to a pool party on Saturday. Went swimming all day yesterday. So I am crispy. I'm fried. I'm tired. I do not want to get in the water again, but I have to today. My kids have really found they both are growing gills. That's all they want to do is just swim.
Merman.
They're little mermen. So it was fun, man. But it was good to be back. It's good to be back in here this morning too.
I had a very Ben 4th of July. 4th of July is that holiday that everyone just goes out, barbecues, it's hot dogs. It's simple. It's American. You're probably going to be sweating a little bit. Maybe you go to the beach. Maybe you go to a park. Somehow Ben fancied up the 4th of July. It seems impossible, but my friend Scott and his wife were in town, and they checked into their Airbnb. It just happened to be kind of right there in Solana Beach near the fair. So we thought, well, we got the fireworks. Why don't I go by and we can watch fireworks? So we walked down from their Airbnb. And we didn't actually want to go into the fair, so we went to Red Tracton's and had a lovely little 4th of July dinner, sat around the piano bar, enjoyed some live music, and then at 8:55 we watched fireworks, walked out and saw the fair up close just from the street there on Via de la Valle. One of the best fireworks shows in town. It was absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, well, we watched the Big Bay Boom from bed, and it was a little bit disappointing. It was one of the worst Big Bay Booms in a while. Is the report. Now, remember, a few years ago, they blew all the fireworks off at the same time.
The Big Bay Bust.
The Big Bay Bust. This one was a lot of delays. My wife she really liked, my kids couldn't have cared less. They just wanted to play like on their iPad.
Are you saying you watch fireworks on television?
Correct.
I don't know that fireworks translates to television.
Sure it does.
I think you have to be watching fireworks live.
No.
Otherwise, you're not really watching fireworks.
No, I was watching fireworks.
Ben, I don't watch fireworks on TV.
I don't think you can just say, I'm going to watch fireworks on TV.
Sure you can. That's what we did.
Really?
Yeah. Do you watch baseball on TV?
Yeah.
Okay. It's fun to go to a game, but when you don't have the other option was this: 9 straight hours at the pool. Then let's get home, get changed, and go drive somewhere and park and watch fireworks, or we just watch fireworks on TV. They couldn't have cared less. She was the only one watching. I was watching baseball. Kids were playing baseball on their iPads. That's it. They couldn't have cared less.
I feel like when you're watching baseball, you get pretty much the entire gist of what you're watching in the game. Fireworks on TV, you're missing the entire majesty and everything.
No,
it's just on a tiny screen as opposed to filling up your sky with the noise and the lights. You have to.
It's great.
You have to watch fireworks in person if you're going to watch fireworks.
It's like saying you have to watch baseball in person. You don't. It's a great product on TV. Fantastic product. You saw all the big thing, and now they didn't do a great job. There was a lot of delays, and it didn't. Now, again, probably a very tough thing to pull off. I'll give you that. So I don't want to sit here and be like, I could have done it better. I couldn't have done it better. But it was a little bit. It left a little to be desired this year, and that's okay. You can go in. You do the SWAT meeting after, and you find out what went wrong, what went right.
You only get one chance.
Every year. That's it. I mean, this is not like you better pull it off. At the end of the day. Did you guys go look at fireworks? We have dogs. We were also dog sitting for my mother-in-law. So I didn't want to leave the dogs. Hannah was not pleased with me, by the way. She really wanted to go. I go, babe, we have just been in the pool for 9 straight hours. And I took my shirt off. She goes, oh my God, you did get red. I go, did you think I was joking? I'm crisp right now. I just want to get in bed and watch the game. And that was on 4th of July. Was that the game we were leading?
No, we lost 3-0 to Yamamoto on the 4th of July.
Pitched really well.
Yes, he did.
Friday,
really well.
Oh, my God. That was the 3-0. So, yeah, we watched that. And then, man, I hit the sack, slept like a rock with the sunburn and just sickly feeling. But, man, it was a really rough go for Padres fans. And you lashed out a lot this weekend. You lashed out a lot at me, lashed out a lot at Ben. Paulie is immune to it because he's off Twitter. But it was a lashing. So we can discuss it all today. But I didn't like it. I didn't like it very much. It wasn't great.
Wasn't fun for sure. I think the frustrating part is that, I mean, the Cubs series was really the disastrous one. If you told me you're going to lose 3 of 4 in LA, and unfortunately you blew 2 of the games that you should have had. I mean, you should have won 3 of 4 in Los Angeles. You blew 2 of them. That's going to sting, but you didn't. It wasn't your worst baseball in Los Angeles.
Chicago was.
The Chicago series was just abysmally bad.
I haven't done the math yet, but I need to find out how many runs they've given up since you ate your hot dog off the floor. It was about, at one point, I think it was 31 runs.
In like 2 games.
Since they've given up since you ate your hot dog off the floor.
But they also had 3 really good pitching performances since then by Michael King. Griffin Canning was really good, and J.P. Sears was great.
Yeah.
Which is weird because the problem on this team is almost certainly going to be starting pitching going forward. If this season completely falls apart, which is, the direction I think we all think it's heading, it will be because they don't have enough starting pitching for the rest of the year. They have already a problem this week. Who are they going to call up to replace Randy Vasquez, who's on the injured list? Lucas Giolito's on the injured list. They don't have enough starting pitching. Are they willing to invest in the trade market to bring starting pitching? Because it's going to be so expensive.
The should is as important, if not more
because
important, than will they.
Now you're 4 games out of a playoff spot. Right. You've got to catch not one, but multiple teams that are ahead of you. It changes the whole equation.
The whole thing has changed.
This last week from where you were and going, hey, all we have to do is outplay the Cardinals by a game and we're making the playoffs. Well, now you got to outplay the Cardinals and the Marlins by 5 games the rest of the way to make the playoffs. That's not easy to do.
Correct.
And it changes the calculus on the trade deadline and the rest of the season. Now, the trade deadline isn't tomorrow. It's still almost a month away, 4 weeks away. Right. I think 4 weeks from today, possibly, is the trade deadline.
Yeah.
So you do still have a chance to change that calculus again, but man, you need a good homestand going into the All-Star break here. You can't have a losing homestand. You've got to have a winning homestand, maybe 5-2, something like that, and then come out of the All-Star break playing good baseball. And then you can say, okay, maybe we've changed the calculus again. But right now, the current calculus says it's not worth it to invest more in this team and try to fix what's broken, because it might still not be enough to get you where you want to go.
has them at 11% chance to make the playoffs.
Okay.
Yeah, I think you need to get that up to at least 20-25.
Yeah, 25%.
If you're gonna invest as a buyer at the trade deadline. So you've got to play good baseball here this week and then in the first 2 weeks coming out of the All-Star break.
No question. There's no question about it. Does the team have the horses to do it? Do they have guys coming back that can help? How effective will they be? I mean, there's so much that goes into it. But, again, there's
been a lot that's happened since we were last on the air on Wednesday.
I mean, yeah.
Randy Vasquez passed out on his way to had to go to the hospital on Friday night, for God's sake.
Yeah.
I mean, Jason Adams on the IL. This whole team is they have a starting rotation on the IL right now.
No doubt. But again, there's a lot of teams that are dying from injuries right now, and they're still scratching and clawing. And they did not hit that number. We said they needed to. It's the worst part is, we said, hey, really tough 13-game stretch.
13 games ago,
6 and 7 would be great.
6 and 7 would be pretty solid, actually. It'd keep you a game above 500 against the Braves, Dodgers, Cubs, and Dodgers. We knew this was going to probably be the toughest stretch of the season. That's before we knew it was going to be 97 degrees in Chicago for those games.
The calculus changes when they win the first 4. They win the first 4 of those 13, and you go, all right, now we're talking. And you still couldn't get to that number. You couldn't get to that number.
They finished 5-8.
You won 1 game after that.
They were 1 game short of the 6 and 7 I was looking for. And I mean, yes, if Jake Cronenworth makes one play that he makes 99 out of 100 times,
they hit the
you hit the number exactly where we wanted you to be on this morning. When we got up,
maybe.
I mean, almost certainly, I think they win that game if Jake makes that play. I mean, you never know what happens.
Maybe the Dodgers come back and beat us by 20 on Sunday to win a series.
Sure.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, Padres got good pitching performances. I don't think the Dodgers tried less to win because they did win the other games.
They still had their A lineup in there for sure. But listen, I would love to sit in here and tell you guys that the sky is not falling. It's falling a little bit. I feel it. I think even Ben feels it. It doesn't appear to be complete team. It doesn't appear to be a team that you feel good about going forward. I'm not saying it can't happen. I'm just saying it probably won't, but I don't get paid to make those decisions. I don't. I get paid to speculate, and my speculation on this team going into the year was 81-81. So right on pace for that.
That was also Fangraphs speculation.
80.
I think they said 82 and
80. Yeah. It's not. They're not way far off.
They're really not far
what everyone
off.
expected this team to be.
So why
are we so mad?
Why is everyone so mad?
Yeah.
If it's a 500 team ish why is everyone so mad?
I mean, we said at the beginning, when you get to the start of July, we want them to be around 500. We had that conversation with Major Garrett on opening day. If they can be around 500 at the beginning of July,
that streak
will probably be where you need to be for the last couple months of the season. You can then invest in some starting pitching going forward and get to exactly where you want to go. Like the team that a couple of years ago was 50-50 after 100 games and then went on to be the best team in baseball the rest of the way. We don't feel like they're heading in that direction this year, although the offense has, the stars have gotten more star-like, like they said they were going to. It just doesn't feel like the pitching is going to hold up. And, unless Nick Pivetta and Joe Musgrove come back, and again,
feels like such a
making
pipe
slow progress, but it doesn't feel like that's about to happen. I don't know where the fix is coming from. You just don't have enough resources to fix the pitching depth or lack thereof that is going to ultimately likely derail this season.
Yeah. And Gary says high payroll, not playing to their potential. No question. And that 11 games over 500, I remember that time we were sitting in there going, we're in really good shape right now. Man, that has disappeared. They're how many games below 500 now? One game below. Listen, is there time to right the ship? Absolutely. There's time to right the ship. Is this the team to do it? I have no idea, but it certainly doesn't feel like it. And we can talk about all of it, man. And I think it's important. I think it's important that a lot of the blame falls on the guy that constructed the team. He gets a lot of credit. He gets a lot of credit every year if they do well. He gets the blame when they don't, in my opinion, too. And that, of course, is AJ Preller. I think he would tell you the same thing. Yeah, man, it's on me. There's layers to every onion, though. Well, cool, guys. I was given a nickel to spend in the offseason. So that's why we had to go out and get Giolito and Canning and wait for Giolito and, things like that.
But you also put yourself in that position by committing to lots of salaries and long term. You knew you were not going to have a ton of flexibility. So that is also on you.
But again,
not just ownership and the transition period, which it clearly is affecting the Padres right now. They're hamstrung by the fact that they're in between owners as well.
It's like a rudderless sailboat up there.
You want to scream at ownership, but of course the Seidler's on their way out.
Yes.
They're not going to make any giant moves right now. The new owners, the Kwanzaa Jones and Jose Feliciano can't do anything because they're not the owners yet. Right. They have no control whatsoever. So you have no one to scream at. You're just yelling into the wind.
No, you yell at Ben and Woods.
Yeah, that's true.
That's we're your punching bag.
If AJ got a phone call today from some GM to make a big trade, he would, I assume, have to get approval from John Seidler still. And then, is it tampering to have Feliciano's input on?
I think they would have to be
moves?
Consulted. You get a lot of cooks right now before you can make anything in your kitchen.
The fact that it's so convoluted is just a weird spot for this team to be in right now.
And I'm telling you right now, if I'm the owners of the new owners that are about to get approved for this team, I'm panicked. I am in full panic mode. I am. And you know what you're buying. It's a long-term investment. This isn't a stock you buy hoping to flip in a year. It's not a house you buy looking to flip in a year. It's a long-term investment, but it was well above what anybody thought it would be. So you're already spending a lot of money at Jump Street, then a potential lockout, and then a potential team in shambles where I'd say 80% of the fan base is revolting against leadership. Down there, at least from what I see. And I realize Twitter is a small portion, but that's always been the way that I looked at things, right? Like, it's all I have. I don't have the ability to send out a poll to the entire county. Keep or fire Craig Stam. I don't have that. What I see every day, what I see in my DMs, what I get screamed at religiously for is this guy isn't the right fit. And the guy that keeps hiring these guys that quit walk away, looking at the other prettier girl across the street is AJ Preller. He's the one that keeps hiring these guys. So it's got to fall on him. It's got to. If I hire...
Good morning, guys.
If I hire a guy to paint my house and he just biffs it, just like, what are you doing, dude? Then I'm like, all right, I'll go hire another guy. I got to get this fixed. He comes in and then he goes, I'm going to do I'll do half of your house. I want to paint that house across the street. Then I hire a guy that's like, I don't really know how to paint houses. I've never really done it before, but I'll try it. I'll do it. All right, fine. Go ahead. I'm going to give you the money to do it. He does it. And
he's
then
got a plucky attitude.
Yeah, he's got a plucky attitude. He's managed a lot of games in his head. Does jujitsu. Can you paint my house? Yeah. Me? Yes, you. I'll give you money to do it. All right, I'll try it. Then that sucks. Then I hire another guy. Now, he's a little bit more temperamental. He got fired from the guy down the street. He painted the guy's house great, and the guy still fired him. And now he's painting my house. And he does a pretty good job. Then he says, I can't do this anymore. I'm leaving. And then I hire another guy that grew up with a painter, knows the painting world, but he's never really painted a house either. And now he's painting a house. And I'm the one complaining about how my house looks. Whose fault is it? I should have just gone with the guy with the experience or the resume to do it. But I did that 3 trips ago, and then he walked away.
Still screws you over.
I mean, I think it's still too early to even judge what kind of manager Craig Stammen is going to be. It's half a season.
Well, I think I think it's too early to judge him on his record, right? Everybody should get some time in their new job to see how it goes. We know what kind of manager he's going to be, and I think that in and of itself is what's rubbing people the wrong way. And not just from my experience. And it is starting to get under my skin, too. You don't have to smile, man, after you just lost one and, blew a huge lead. I get that you're a relentlessly positive person, and I think
we've had
I like playing for a guy like that. I would. I think a guy that always has my back and is never negative. I think it's important for 162. You got to eyewash me a little bit more, dude. You really do. And he tried to yesterday, and it didn't come off as genuine.
Yeah, it's been the same. Schilt did the exact same thing. He just did it in a different. He did it more combative with the media, but it was still. He was never going to say a bad thing, a negative thing about any of his players.
Never.
He just did it differently. Craig Stammen's much nicer to the media about it, but he's still the same constant positivity.
I think he has rubbed some fans the wrong way. I don't think he's lost the players or the clubhouse. I think they like playing for him. Ultimately, put whoever you want in there. Terry Francona, Kevin Cash.
Right.
Who's the best manager? I think this is still a 500 team right now.
I do too.
I don't think it changes the record.
I do too.
At all.
I honestly do.
At all.
And this in the chat too is like, they're saying, he's hired a yes man. I don't know too many GMs that hire no men. I don't. I really don't.
Well, AJ Preller did. Bob Melvin was a no man.
Bob Melvin was a no man.
Bob Melvin was a no man.
And it worked for a year.
It worked for a year. And then he led this team they had the most talented team in Padres history and didn't even make the playoffs. He was a no man. Straight up. I know this for a fact. Yep. He was a no man. He did it his way. Did not do it AJ's way. How'd that go? Well, we went further than we've gone in a long, long, long time since 1998. But
nobody cares about that anymore. Everybody calls him Sleepy Bob. Nobody looks back at that with fondness.
No, because the next year you absolutely drove off a cliff with this team, and he was a no man. So the yes man thing, fine. Look, if I'm hiring somebody for a position to paint my house, I want a guy that tells me, no, I'm going to do it the way you like it. I'm going to do it the way you like it, right? With Craig, I think it sticks in people's craw that he never really wanted the gig, right? Now, let's not pretend Mike Schilt wasn't a yes man as well. Mike Schilt was a huge
Let's not pretend
yes
Albert
man.
Pujols wouldn't have been a yes
Correct.
man.
In his first year. Second year, yeah, you're going to be a yes man for a while. That's just how it goes. That's just the way it works. So, listen, I think no one's judging him off his record per se right now. I think they're just judging him on the fact that he might look a little bit overwhelmed. And that's it. And he smiles too much. That's pretty much the deal right now.
I think the smiling too much is now unsettling. His biggest weekness.
100%.
I think it really is.
100,000%, Benny. It really, really does. So listen, if it's change that you seek with the San Diego Padres, and there are a lot of people on that train, we need a complete and total overhaul. Okay. Let's talk about that next and what happens. And also, 833-288-0973. Let's play it out. Let's fast forward the tape on what an overhaul looks like. And I think it's an interesting conversation. I just want to give you the good of that, and I want to give you the bad of that as well. Okay?
We also had a lot of consternation about our next segment. It's Padres Wrap-Up.
Oh.
And we were just talking about how really all weekend, if they won on Sunday, we're like, it doesn't feel right to play the winning wrap-up, but the rules are the rules. But I had my DMs on Instagram, at least, were flooded.
People saying, I hope they lose.
I need to hear 9 in a row. Well,
you're not going to get 9. You'll get 8. You are getting 8, and they deserve every single one of them.
We will get to all of it coming up, broadcasting live back home in our Millhouse studios. We know how. It's Ben and Woods on a Monday morning on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
Here, I'll show you a little. Just a little.
Please don't.
Just a little bit. What hurts on you?
Nothing at all.
A little bit.
Not that now.
So let's say
whatever you're about to touch is the only thing.
Let's say
it's gonna hurt.
Right?
All right, yeah.
Okay.
pretend your knee hurts.
Pretend your knee hurts.
It's going to in a second.
Right here.
Oh, that is not pleasant.
Hey, player, this is all yours. This room with this view. This speakeasy with this cocktail. Hey, could you make that too? The spa with this. Ah. And this pool on this roof. This is all for you. The all-new Hamul Casino Resort, now open.
Ben Woods brought to you by David P. Shapiro, criminal defense attorneys, helping good people regain control of their future when charged with a crime since 2010. Visit davidpshapirolaw.com. Got our normal Monday features and guests coming up, including Craig Elsten will join us at 7:35. Plenty of World Cup soccer to talk about. Last night's game between Mexico and England. I loved your tweet about it as well.
Yeah.
That the soccer is boring crowd is in shambles right now because
formerly me, by the way.
That was theatrical and heartbreaking for Mexico. They just played their butts off that whole game and couldn't catch a break.
The attack that they had, and credit to England, being a man down and being able to withstand the it was like a hurricane coming at them every 30 seconds. And
don't forget about the altitude.
And the altitude, Ben. I mean,
you just knew that if Mexico scored,
yes,
they were going to win.
No question.
If they could find the equalizer in that last 30 minutes with a man advantage and the altitude advantage, it was over. They were going to win that game in regulation or extra time. England would have crumbled if they had given up another goal.
It was unbelievable. It was in a series of unbelievable matches over the weekend, and since this tournament started, I've really you got to walk back. I have to walk back my entire soccer is boring. I mean, the World Cup I get is different, and there's somebody goes, well, bro, like. Not every game is like this. It's the World Cup. I go, dude, I get it. I go, but you're talking to a guy that watches 162 Padres games every year. I slog through those. I slog through every one of them. Some of them I leave early if it's 23-3. But if it's a soccer match and it's 23-3, I'll probably tune out of that one as well. But it's been exciting and riveting. My kids are way into it. My wife's way into it. Makes it a lot of fun. I'm already looking forward to the next one.
Tonight's going to be nuts.
Tonight's going to be insanity.
In Seattle, U.S., Belgium.
Yeah.
The giant controversy of the suspension to Balogun being rescinded or delayed or whatever that's going to allow him to play. I mean, Belgium is understandably up in arms about all of this. I get it. But it's going to be unbelievable theater tonight as well. It feels like everybody in the country is going to be watching.
They're lawyering up, too. I saw. Like,
crazy.
It's crazy.
I couldn't believe it.
I couldn't either, man. Paulie's the one that sent it to us the other day. It's like, I was texting Darren Smith about it. He's like, bro, welcome to soccer, my friend. I said, okay. We got calls on the line, though.
We do.
I want to get to them.
We'll also have Dennis Lynn joining us at 8:35 on our SDCCU fan hotline. It's not Big Bank Banking. It is better. We got some callers on the line. But before we get to anything, the calls, the wrap-up, everyone kind of wanted to hear it. Padres lost 8 in a row, but because of how it fell with the 8th loss coming on a Saturday, and we didn't have a show on Sunday.
Listen to this.
It's the longest losing streak in 13 years for your San Diego Padres. And we've been doing our wrap-ups and crap-ups for the last few of those. People were curious what it would have sounded like. So, Paulie, if you would, this would have been Sunday morning if Ben Woods was
if we were on Sunday morning.
Yeah, I made a 9.
Yeah, you made a 9.
Just in case for today, and then just took 1 away. But yeah, here's 8.
It's a shame, 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 it's a shame if they lose.
You got a problem.
How did things play out in yesterday's game?
Supremely stupid.
Incredible. Should play on a loop at batting practice tonight is what they should do. Is they should pipe that in one more time, Paulie, if you will. One more time.
Oh. It's a shame, 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 it's a shame if they lose.
You got a problem.
That's how will be echoing in my mind all day.
All day. All weekend long is what I thought about. All weekend long. Like, they're gonna do it.
I texted you guys yesterday. I said, I'm not going to lie. I'm going to be mad if they win today.
Yeah, I had a lot of people saying, I don't care. I want to hear
what does it matter?
Yeah, what does it matter?
What does it matter?
14
games, 15 games back.
They deserve 8. They deserve that after that 8 games that they play. That was excruciating, man.
All right, let's go out to the phone lines before we get to the wrap-up of the 1-game winning streak.
Yes, one game.
San Diego Padres are now on. Let's go out to Matt, going to lead off things. First hour phone calls on Ben and Woods. You know things are dire, Matt, when we go to the phones. Good morning.
Hey guys, good morning.
Good morning,
Let's see. Yep, you're right. Games have not been so much fun lately. I think a lot of us are just here for the reaction. So great to have you guys back this morning. I grew up in Chicago, so listening here all week to the casserole talk from Woods over there has been tough. So some good vindication that you guys enjoyed the food. Is there much to say about the players at this time? So I'll move on to Stammen. Does he belong here long term? You guys think he makes it to the end of the year? I think someone called him out for having the personality of white bread near the end of some of these post-game conferences. Does he want the job? And then what do you guys think about the check swing call? I think that was kind of random on the first or second pitch of the game. The dugout just erupted. Was that planned? Was that to light a fire? What do you guys think about that?
Great questions, all of them, Matt. And thanks for the call. He's referring to my other walk back from Lou Malnati's deep dish pizza. I had said it's like a lasagna, but it's changed. It's different. And in fact, the guy that was sitting next to me, Jeremy, was like, bro, the locals have actually complained because they've taken away some of the volume, the depth of the deep dish pizza. I go, I knew I liked it. It tastes a little bit better. It's a little easier to eat, a little easier to get a whole slice down. It was spectacular. I walk it back, go to Lou Malnati's. If you go to Chicago, get the sausage. It was unbelievable. Okay, so that's to your point. Yes, I was wrong. You were right. Number 2, Craig Stammen. What was his question about Craig?
Personality of white bread.
Personality of white bread.
And was yesterday planned, perhaps?
Yeah, okay, so that one. So I think I don't think it was planned, but the guy that got the most
they were
mad
looking for an opportunity.
Sure.
I don't think they said, Nando, go out and check a swing,
but I think,
and then get really mad that you got called for a strike, and we'll just go ahead and get ejected.
I actually
start the game.
I don't think Craig actually wanted to get ejected there. I don't. But Ryan Goins was pissed, and I mean pissed, like over the rail pissed. So when that happens, if you're the skip, you have to then not only defend your player in Tatis, you have to defend your coach in Goins. Souza was barking. It's the way that we haven't really had anybody whose ejections I've liked over the last few years. Shieldties were okay. They were okay. But like Andy Green was the worst. Craig Stammen is the second worst by far. Bomel, I don't
even remember
him getting ejected. I don't remember him smiling, ever laughing, being happy, or being sad. He's just kind of there.
Stoic.
Stammen's, what? Me? It's like, I'm not trying to be mean. It'd be like if you got ejected. I'm sorry. That's what it is. Every time I see him come out with the hands up, shaking head,
F you. It's hard. It is hard for me to criticize Craig Stammen's personality.
Like yes.
Given that we share the same white bread, smiley personality. It's difficult for me to just sit here and go, that guy's terrible. I can't stand his personality because I have to hold up a mirror, and I am very much the same way as Craig Stammen.
It's why I love you. It really is. It's why we work.
It would be so hard for me to get ejected. If I had to do that.
Oh, my God.
Manager for a day, and I had to go out there and scream at the umpire.
It's really easy. It's really easy.
I'm understanding. I'm optimistic.
You're kind.
I'm pleasant. Kind.
Yes.
It would be very difficult.
It would.
To do that.
It would.
Which is why I probably shouldn't be the manager of a Major League Baseball team.
Correct.
If I'm being totally honest.
Now, let's look across the aisle here at your old pal Woodsy. Would I be a good manager? The answer is no. The answer is no. The answer is unequivocally no. Would I be great at getting ejected? Yes, I'd be phenomenal. My wife ejects me all the time. Nobody be better. I might be the best to ever do it. But boy, you do not want me in that clubhouse. My body language around an 8-game losing streak, it sure wouldn't be smiley. It would be, I would be on the edge of jumping, right? Like I just would be a wreck. I don't have the temperament.
You would be too defeatist.
I would be too defeatist
to be a good manager.
I don't have the I'm a coach, right? Like I coach little kids and I love it so much. And I feel like I'm pretty good at that, but I'm working so hard on my body language and things like that because it is piss poor. It's piss poor. And I have to work on that. The big league level, Ben, if Crony boots that ball, to have the fortitude to just sit there and chew your gum is beyond. I don't have it. It would have been, I would have kicked the helmet thing over. And what does that do for Crony? Crony's a veteran. He didn't want to boot that ball, right? I'm not going to get in his face after. What do people want to fight Cronenworth for booting that ball? They wanted the manager to. I saw a bunch of hold him accountable. Like, what do you get? Crony knows he screwed up. All these guys know when they boot one, and they don't want to boot that. He wants to win that game badly.
When Jake Cronenworth made that error, it's not because he's not a professional,
right?
It's not because he doesn't know what he's doing.
Right.
I know that he does. I know that he feels worse than anybody about it.
Yep.
And I know that he usually makes that play. Did he just want it too badly? Like, we need this so badly in this moment, this double play to save this victory because I can't. And Just rushed it, maybe just a bit because he wanted it so bad.
You look up to make sure the guy's where he's supposed to be, and you take your eye off the ball for 1 second.
He said after the game, they brought him more home. I knew it was coming. I mean, I knew I'm getting a ground ball right here. He was ready for it. It wasn't a surprise at all.
Tough.
It was just the anticipation that killed it. We need to check traffic here because we're getting near the top of the hour. We still have more phone calls and our wrap-up. We will talk more, not just about the ejection, but all of yesterday's game. All coming up here with Ben and Woods on 97.3 The Fan.
From the 97.3 The Fan Traffic Center, here's your latest traffic update.
In El Cajon, the 67 southbound sluggish from Broadway getting onto the 8. In San Diego, the 94 westbound a bit slow getting onto the 805 northbound. I'm Sam Tidrick, Odyssey San Diego traffic.
This update is brought to you by the California Office of Traffic Safety.
My mom, my papa, my daddy. We're Caltrans on the freeway, right next to speeding cars.
Please be careful.
Be alert. Be work zone alert. Brought to you by the kids of Caltrans.
I love winning, man. I love winning. You hear what I'm saying? It's like better than losing.
Are you ready? How did things play out in yesterday's game?
I liked last night's game.
It's time for the
Padres Wrap-Up
with Ben and Woods.
You guys are the voice of San Diego.
Brought to you by Hamul Casino Resort. Hey, player, the rooftop pool's open. Day passes are available, and the spa is calling your name. Hamul Casino Resort, the player's place.
Now the 2-0 pitch on the ground through the right side. That's a base hit. And he's on his way to third, being waved home. Paul comes up throwing. Here's the throw to the plate, not in time. Jackson Merrill, a 2-out RBI single in the fourth. And the Padres are ahead 1-0. Here's the pitch, and Fernando, slow grounder to the left of the mound, charged at third by Rojas. Only play to first, and not in time. Everybody's safe as Song crosses the plate, and the Padre lead is 2-0. 0-2 pitch. Manny swings, sends it in the air deep to center field. Pages racing straight back, still going back. Jumps up, this one gonna go right over the wall and straight away center field. On 0-2, it's a 3-run home run, and the Padres get some much-needed insurance here in the seventh. It's 5-0. 2-0, and a hard hit liner up the middle. That's into center, to base hit. Hernandez rounding third. He'll come in to score. Merrill's throw comes in to Bogarts on the left side of the infield. The Dodgers are on the board. It's 5-1. Here's the pitch. Otani swings, lines it into center. That's down and a base hit. Tucker rounding third.
Wow.
That ran out of time.
That's what happens. Sometimes you run out of time. All right, we're at the top of the hour. Shall we continue this discussion on the other end? All right, we'll come back. Woods wants to talk about what you do big picture.
Yeah, rebuild maybe.
Boom, blow it up. Is it time to have that discussion? More phone calls as well. Ben and Woods continuing hour number 2 next on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan. You know when you get someone a present and they say they like it, but you never really know for sure.
Right.
Well, I happened to pick up something for Paulie when we were in Chicago.
Yes.
On Wednesday last week, and he said he loved it, but now that he's wearing it this morning, I feel good about what I got for you. I thought you did, but you never know for sure. So it's good to see you wearing your DePaul sweatshirt that I went down to the bookstore, campus bookstore. The School of Law and Business was just a few blocks from our hotel. So I went down there and I said, I'm going to get him a DePaul sweatshirt
of Paul.
Yeah. And he's got
Paul
it on.
University.
He's got it on this morning. And then you went down on a scooter on Thursday before we left and got a picture in front of DePaul University.
I was waiting. I wasn't sure. Like Woods was like, "Oh, I would love. We got to go see the campus, get a picture in front of the sign or whatever." But we weren't
then it was
in
1,000 degrees.
Yeah, we weren't in that part of town. It was way too hot. So yeah, you got me the sweatshirt. I was very excited about that. And then Thursday, right before we left, running a couple of errands around and grabbing a couple of things last minute, and I ran into the same building. I was like, "There it is. I got to go take a picture."
DePaul of Paul.
Hey
now
guys,
you
it's
will have
DePaul
people asking, "Oh, did you go to school there?" If you wear that sweatshirt.
No, but my
here in
name is
San Diego.
Paul.
No, but I'm Paul.
I'm Paul.
Yeah, just committed to the bit.
Let's get to our phone calls.
Yeah, let's get back out to the phone lines. We have some callers, 833-288-0973.
Got Gary just right now.
Talking about the Padres' struggles of late. Gary, welcome to Ben and Woods on 97.3 The Fan.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Hey,
I'm
sure.
glad to see you guys back safely from Chicago. I see you didn't make any side trips down to the south side.
No. We drove through it though. Drove through it. Yeah.
But anyway, well, first of all, the check swing that was argued, that's a swing. The hands cocked, whatever. The bat goes across the plate. That's a swing. For the millionth time, I guess.
I think he was mad that they didn't appeal right away, right? That the home plate umpire called it. And that's always one that, like, you're going to be like, hey, get help, right? So I think Goins was yelling to get help. And then I think they did appeal, and he said he went. Like, it was just a cluster.
It was probably a swing.
Might have been a swing.
Yeah, well, and then I guess that's the first point. The second one is this thing about, A.J. Preller, and everybody's saying, well, A.J. Preller, if he hadn't done this, he hadn't done that.
Sure.
We all know that Peter Seidler was a hands-on owner.
Yes.
Owner. He signs checks. And he was adamant about keeping Machado. He was adamant about a lot of things. And he's the one that's running the show. Now, would it be very comfortable for somebody like A.J. Preller to say, well, no, I don't want to do that.
Right.
When you look at your paycheck and the signatures down there, it says Peter Seidler on it. So it's a lot of complications and convoluted things that go on. And we had a lot of things that a lot of money was being paid out. And I don't necessarily, if you got inside Preller's head, I don't necessarily think that he even, so-called approved these things.
Sure.
Like Woodsy and Canepa and all the rest of them, are saying, but it just happens, and there's a lot of politics. I'll get off the line and hear you guys here.
No, I think you're right, absolutely right. And, again, I was writing with, oh, God, he's the biggest. He says he's a Padres fan, but I actually asked him. I said, man, do you actually like when they win? He said, no. I go, all right. So he likes to complain. At least he admitted it. So I was going back and forth with him yesterday. My kids said, Daddy, come in the pool. I'm like, hang on. I've got to yell at Christian here real quick. And we're going back and forth. And I said, man, listen, the calculus of everything, it changes. When your owner, your mentor, is like, hey, dude, things aren't looking great for me health-wise. Do whatever you have to do to bring me a World Series. Please. And that's you love that guy. And that guy brought you along, and you've spent thousands of hours in his office talking to him, being with him, loving him like we all did. And he says to you, like if he had said, Woodsy, I need you to build a building with your bare hands, I would have said, yes, sir. I don't know anything about building. I will try my very best, right? Because I loved Peter. And AJ did too. And they are obviously much closer than any of us could ever imagine. So I think it did change things in this city. in this organization. I do think it did change, and AJ did, I think, what he felt he needed to do at the time, and they actually went after bigger targets than Xander and all that. We all know the stories, but I don't know. It does change it for me, but at the end of the day, the buck has to stop with AJ Preller.
Well, we can debate Manny's contract forever. I don't think it's a particularly good one, but he's not the problem on this team. He's actually the most dangerous hitter on this team right now. You don't not want Manny Machado in your lineup. He's not bringing this team down. He's not the reason they lost 8 games in a row. He's one of the only guys who's hit fairly consistently over that 8-game losing streak. He now has 18 home runs, by far the team leader. So Manny's not the problem now. It may be a problem in the future. It may be impacting the organization's ability to sign other guys. But you don't not want Manny on this team right now, correct? I mean, do we all agree with that?
Correct.
I think it's just tough, though. It's also such revisionist history where it's like, yeah, I think we all would admit, like, if you could go back in time, do you give Manny that extension? I don't think so. Do you sign Xander to that contract?
No.
I don't think so, but you did. And they're not going anywhere, so that's the only part. It's like, I understand. We all know that that's an issue right now.
Right, like
we all see it.
It's just it's spinning your wheels, about regret and things like that.
Can you
it's
trade
tough.
Mason Miller to take one of those contracts? Maybe, probably not, but maybe.
I doubt it.
But there's just not a whole lot to do to get out of it.
Right. I mean, you're just kind of in it right now. It's the soup.
No one's saying that that's not an issue.
Right. I think everyone will agree fully that it is an issue. But here's my thing. Again, without a firm ownership group in the office right now making the decisions, right? The buck's going to stop with Feliciano and Jones, correct? That's what we're all led to believe. Once they get approved, which, again, by all accounts, should be happening in the next week or two, right? Mid-July is kind of what we heard. And I do think it's important to get that done before the All-Star break or before the trade deadline. No matter which way you go, because if you sell, you're going to need their approval. If you buy, you're going to need their approval. You got to figure it all out. So let's say AJ Preller looks in the mirror and says, "This team ain't it. This ain't it." Right? We are going to sell off some pieces that people might be interested in. Let's say you could get stuff for players back for Mason Miller. You could. Let's say people are interested in a Wandy Peralta. Let's say they're interested in Jason Adams injured right now, but if he's healthy and comes back, I think he did say it would be after the deadline,
after August.
So, but you can still trade for a guy
Adrian
like that.
Morejon certainly is a free agent to be.
Michael King, right? Like if you do that, it's weird to me the amount of people in the fan base that would be elated. I'm not saying that you shouldn't. I'm really not saying you shouldn't do that. But what I am saying is this: so then you're going to put your faith in Padres draft and development. Okay. When they had the young players, it was kind of AJ's first go around. It was the hot talent lava. None of those guys were hot. None of them had any talent, and they certainly didn't play like lava. It was awful. It was awful. Does anybody remember those days? And that's when AJ goes, we have to pivot and we have to start trading guys for big league caliber players. And they did that. And he's been pot committed to that and all in. So
but those players that he traded, there's tons of them doing well in baseball right now.
I mean, like the
rosters are littered with Padres draft picks. Many of them have made the big league.
No doubt.
They're doing something right, at least in terms of the drafting and making them look, good in the minor leagues on their way to the big leagues somewhere else.
Absolutely. And again, I'm not saying that's not the right path. I'm not saying. I'm saying that some people, but then, so the other option is if you fire AJ, if Kwanzaa Jones and Jose Feliciano come in and say, hey, man, thank you for your efforts. I really believe that you did try to bring a World Series championship here. I don't think anybody can deny that. Most active GM maybe of all time. That's what he was trying to do. But we're going to go in a different direction. All right. So now you got a new GM. He brings in his team, his drafting, his development, his minor league coordinators. And again, you could be looking at a few years down the road. And it's like I told my pal Christian yesterday. Look at the Orioles. That's what the method that they wanted to employ. They haven't won a thing. The Rays, they made the World Series in a shortened season, but they win some regular season games, sure, and they compete in a really tough division. That's cool regular season for them. These drafting and developments, the Brewers, man, they buck the system every year. They don't spend any money. And he actually said he had a good point. He goes, I'm not saying they have to be the Brewers and they can't be the Dodgers, but there needs to be a happy medium. And I go, I think we're in it. I think we're in that happy medium between Brewers, Dodgers. Now, our roster's not littered with guys that we've drafted and developed, but it is littered with guys that they've picked up off the scrap heap and made better. And you can look at the bullpen. You can look at the starting lineup. There are guys in there that you got for not a lot. You're not paying a lot to, that you've helped kind of bring their careers back. So if you do it and you do the hard reset on this franchise, there's pitfalls to that as well.
I'm not expecting it. First of all, AJ just signed a contract extension. So you'd be eating, we don't know for how many years.
I have no idea.
We don't know for how much money, but it's probably several $1 million a year. So you'd be eating a ton of money. I can also promise you this, and this is, you may still want to move on from AJ. If you let him go, he will immediately be hired somewhere else and will probably have a lot of success there.
Yeah.
And you will have to watch that from afar as AJ turns another team into a contender and is heralded around the league as one of the best general managers in baseball. That will, I mean, I'll put my stamp guarantee on that. If the Padres let AJ go, he will go somewhere else and have a lot of exciting success. I don't know if he'll win a World Series or not, but you will look and you will see everybody talking about what a great job AJ is doing with another team.
I don't think that's reason.
That doesn't mean,
I don't think that's reason enough.
Doesn't mean you can't change something here, and you may need to change something here at some point.
Yeah, I don't think that's reason enough not to not go for a fresh start if that's what you want as the new ownership group. Oh God, he might get snatched up. How many players do we see we look around baseball and go, oh my God, that guy was here, and look at him thriving. It happens all the time. I think it happens to every organization, but I
think I was thinking about that the other day, how many ex-Padres are littered throughout Major League Baseball. And what I landed on is that tells me AJ Preller and his team have no problem identifying Major League talent because they have traded a ton. Like, the Major Leagues are full of former Padres. That means guys that are still in the show, and that's not easy to hang around in the big leagues. And I'm going, is he just picking the wrong guys to keep and attach to his wagon? Maybe.
I mean, you have to give those guys up to get guys of the caliber of Juan Soto. And my pal that likes to debate said, well, it's unacceptable that you got pennies on the dollar for Juan Soto after what you gave up. And I said, well, yeah, but when a team knows you have to trade a guy because you're not going to resign him, you're not going to get equal value. And he goes, oh, I know that. I go, so why are you bringing it up?
I thought they did actually
pretty well. I thought he did the best that he could at the time. In hindsight, maybe you don't make that move. And James Wood is playing left field for you tonight instead of Gavin Sheets or Samad Taylor. Maybe he is. C.J. Abrams, maybe he's your shortstop instead of Xander Bogaerts.
But
Mackenzie Gore's got about a 5 ERA.
Their team has, I think, the same record as the Padres right now. So they're not winners. They haven't gone on to be winners anywhere.
They've never been to the playoffs since that trade happened. They have not been to the playoffs, and they're on a decent track this year. But you know what? They hired an inexperienced manager who had never managed before, and he's got them playing pretty well. For them. He's got them playing pretty well. In Drew.
Why would you
Butera.
say that? They have major all-star talent. The Padres have one all-star, a guy who we barely see at all because they never have a lead in the ninth inning, and the teams have the same record. The Nationals are underperforming. The Padres are overperforming based on the talent that we've seen on the field this year.
I'd say we're underperforming.
With no all-stars? No all-stars.
I don't care about the closer. I don't care about the all-star game. It's not an indication. The indication is our payroll is way more than theirs, right? And we have
that's
more.
True.
That's hence why we're underperforming. I think they are overperforming this season.
The GM is underperforming. The manager in the scenarios where you're comparing it to.
Well, I'm just saying
the Nationals managers' players have been better than the Padres managers' players.
Correct.
And yet they have the same record. So who's doing a better job managing?
They're in different divisions. I mean, I don't know what your point is.
Just my point is the Padres have not had the production from the players on the field this year.
Correct.
But the Nationals have got.
Right, but I'm saying they hired the same type of manager, except one was a reliever, one was a catcher. Catcher is usually going to get the hat nod. Now, if they had brought in Rod Barajas to manage this team, would people have been more fired up about that move than they would have Craig Stammen? I don't know that Craig Stammen can be a big league manager. I don't know that he wants it that bad. I don't know that there's a burning desire in him to say, I'm going to sit through the lockout. I love this. I love being away from my family. I love being away from Ohio. This is the best. I was made for this. I don't know that he feels that way. My gut tells me he probably doesn't. I think that is I don't think it was a great hire, but it remains to be seen. He can write a different story if the guys start playing a little bit better.
Let's get to one more call here before DDT. Jacob is on the line. You're next up with Ben and Woods here on 97.3 The Fan. Hello, Jacob.
Hello. How are you all doing today?
Good, buddy. How you doing?
I'm doing quite well. For everyone, hope everyone had a nice 4th of July weekend, able to relax and all that stuff.
Yes, sir.
So I am unfortunately going to be a bit more of a doomist point of view.
I like the doomist.
But, and I apologize, but I went to the Dodger game. The One Piece Dodger game where we had that, I think it was 6-0 lead, and then we blew it in 3 innings.
Yeah.
And then the Dodgers continued to just beat us up. But just over this past weekend, I felt zero pride of being a Padres fan. We lose 23-6. That don't feel good. No. We blow a 6-run lead. That don't feel good.
That was the worst.
And we blew what? That was pretty bad. And it sucks because my twin and his girlfriend came from Kentucky to watch that game. In 3 innings, they're like, yeah, let's go Padres. And then, no, this sucks. But then we have the 3-0 blown lead. So my mindset at this point is I think it is time to blow it up. It is unfortunate, but the mindset is this. This is the last season where these rules are taking place because we're going to be having essentially a brand new ball game coming in whenever the CBA is agreed upon. Because there's going to potentially be a salary cap, salary floor. There's potentially going to be a bunch of new rules implemented. And, of course, we have the new owners coming in. So I have this gut feeling that what's going to happen is, unfortunately, the GM's going to be let go if we do not make the playoffs because they want their guys in. We're going to be letting people go because the lockout's coming out. We don't know what's going to happen when it comes to the financial side of this CBA negotiation.
Sure.
So at this point, my mindset is it's unfortunate that we lost so many incredible prospects, and it sucks because I can tell that this team really wants to win the World Series. We can see that each and every day, they're trying their best to try and get a win for the faithful. But at this point, I feel like it's time to just blow it up. It's time to just let it go, learn and understand what might be happening in terms of the new CBA, and then build ourselves for the future. So then, whatever happens with CBA, because I don't know if we're losing games or not. Whatever happens from there, we could get a fresh start. And more importantly, we could get a leg up because we know how to navigate this new CBA, and we can better capitalize. And then hopefully bring a World Series on to San Diego. But,
let's go.
Have a great day, everyone.
Appreciate
and take care.
Thank you. Appreciate you. Appreciate you.
Johnny Carson's coming up next.
I liked what he had to say. I did. I liked what he had to say. It was a roundabout way of getting it.
It was a little long-winded, Jacob, but I do see what you're saying, that if you're ever going to reset an ownership change, a CBA change,
100%, it's a great time to do it.
We have the possible, lockout and a delay at the start of the next season is tailor-made for a rebuild.
Yes.
Can they rebuild? I don't know. And who do you still build around? You still build around Fernando Tatis Jr.?
Yeah, of course.
We'll have months to discuss all of this.
That's true.
Coming up. Don't Do This is coming up next. We're going to take a quick timeout. More Ben and Woods on the way from the Bill House Studios. We know how on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan. First, I am actually kind of stunned. Maybe it was the heat. I got on the scale after I got home from Chicago to see the damage. I lost 4 pounds in Chicago.
You didn't do it right.
I must not have done it right. Or I've just changed my eating habits thanks to SDFatLoss.com. Their program helped me lose 40 pounds in 60 days, and they can help you lose up to a pound of fat per day and 10 to 20% of your body weight in just 2 months based on real foods and no exercise. I ate a lot of chicken, steak, and fish during my program. If that sounds like something you can do, then you just need to set up a free consultation right now by going to SDFatLoss.com. And if you sign up for the program, take advantage of the summer special for 97.3 The Fan listeners. Take $200 off the program, which is a one-time fee. It's not the ongoing costs of the injections. And remember, they want to boost your metabolism. The injections lower the metabolism. You're probably going to lose a lot of muscle. So if you're looking for a sustainable way to keep the weight off, get the weight off fast, try it. SDFatLoss.com. Again, SDFatLoss.com. Results may vary.
And this pool on this roof. This is all for you. The all-new Hamul Casino Resort, now open.
Don't Do This, brought to you by Dixie Line Lumber and Home Centers, helping San Diego homeowners and contractors fix it, build it, and
enjoy it.
And we're going to do something a little different today. Instead of our 3 stories, we're going to set the table for our conversation on the World Cup with Craig Elsten by discussing the biggest story, probably in wide sports, or maybe just in the world now.
Yeah, for sure.
And that is the suspension and then lifting of the suspension of Flo Balogun of the U.S. men's national team for tonight's World Cup round of 16 game against Belgium. And the reason why it kind of belongs in Don't Do This is they're both don't and do this elements to it, because we all thought in the beginning that it was kind of insane that he got a red card in the first place, and even worse, that he had to sit out the next match for what was kind of a fairly normal soccer tackle play. And it felt like a miscarriage of justice that Balogun,
that he
maybe
got
the best player, in the World Cup so far for the team, it was not going to be able to play in the biggest match possible against Belgium. But now that he is, it goes the other way and goes about, FIFA actually observing their own rules. And there was supposed to be no appeal process, no chance for you to have the penalty. Once the red card is, I'm sorry, there's nothing we can do about it. You have to sit out the next game. So if you're looking at the Belgium side of things and going, how is this not just blatant cronyism, cheating, whatever, corruption to put the U.S. and one of their best players back on the pitch for tonight's game?
It's wild.
It's very wild.
Beyond wild. I was reading this piece from Mark Ogden on ESPN, and he said 4 days ago, FIFA made it clear there were no appeals process for Balogun, and he would serve a one-match suspension. Case closed. The optics undermine the integrity of the competition. If you're a big player, they've done this with Ronaldo, by the way, or play for a major nation, and as co-host, the U.S. is certainly the latter, the usual rules can be bent into whatever shape is required to achieve a desired outcome. And it's tough because, again, like you said, there were protocols broken with VAR, I understand. With that,
they showed them a slow-mo replay,
right,
which they were not supposed to do. It was supposed to be only real-time replays for the officials,
right? And so there's so many different levels to this, but at the end of the day, he's going to be there tonight. He's going to be playing, and if you're Belgium, you're furious, and they are furious. He goes, the manager said, I didn't know July 5th was April Fool's Day. This is a joke.
Kind of sucks. Yeah, they had the whole weekend to make that decision, and so Belgium game plans for him not being
somebody else in there,
and then all of a sudden the day before the match they
wild.
So, my opinion doesn't really weigh anything. I understand because I don't really care all that much. How should I feel? How should we feel? Like, is everyone that's rooting for America tonight like just, hey, sucks, sorry about it? Or are you like, this? That kind of feels a little scummy.
I think it's okay for it to feel a little dirty. I do.
Sports are the foundation of sports are rules, and that every team has to operate under the same rules, because you really wouldn't have a great sport if teams got to operate under, you get 4 outs in an inning and this team only gets 3. Really wouldn't be a fair competition, a level playing field, which is why this feels wrong to me. I mean, whether you disagreed with the call or not, you're changing the conditions of the test after it's already done.
Yeah.
And I just don't like that. At the same time, why would you ever have a tournament? You only get to do this once every 4 years. If Messi, let's say Messi took a ticky-tack red card in the semifinal. Okay, so we've waited 4 years to see this. Messi in the final, his last game of all time, and just going, nope, there's no appeal process or anything. We probably screwed that up, and he didn't deserve the red card, but no chance he can now play in the World Cup final. That makes no sense whatsoever. It's a once every 4 year tournament. Why would you have rules? Why would you have rules that the guys are automatically suspended for the next game? They're already out for that whole game that they've been thrown out. What's the point of adding on a 1-game suspension unless
that's the way they do it.
And they shouldn't have ever done it that way.
Imagine
if you do something truly horrible and dangerous, then suspend him at like any other sport would do. Like, hey, we've issued a 3-game suspension, but don't just make it automatic no matter what it is. I mean, you get 2 yellow cards for arguing with a referee.
Right.
And you're suspended for the next game now. I don't know. That's the same as, a guy who just cold cocks a guy from behind and punches him in the back of the head. Is the same punishment for that guy as well? I don't know. Doesn't it make a lot of sense to me?
Well, I mean, but you just said, like, if you're a star, you should get special treatment. Like, let's say you're gambling potentially, or you're connected to gambling, and then I don't know, an entire organization says it's fine. We're not going to lose this guy. Just hypothetically, right. At any sport, hypothetically.
Maybe there's somebody on the staff.
Maybe there's somebody on staff that works with him.
Translator, maybe.
You could say, like, maybe you take the fall. Because we can't.
Yeah.
We got to have our best player playing on the biggest stage. This is what you're saying.
You want to talk about corruption.
That's okay. You're saying that's okay. If you're a star, you should be able to get away with anything. Because it only happens every 4 years.
No, but maybe if it was a ticky-tack foul, you shouldn't have to sit out an entire match.
But that's how they do red cards. You know that.
I know, and they shouldn't do it in that way. It just doesn't make a lot of sense.
Now you're talking about changing the entire sport of soccer.
Well, they should. I totally believe the offsides rule is insane.
But then, let's say, if they do change it, you don't have to sit out the next match. You're like, well, what's the deterrent of the red card then?
Right.
Oh, you kicked me out the last 15 minutes? Fine.
Yeah, we're up 3-0.
Right.
I'm going
to go lay this guy out if I want.
Let's talk about it with Craig Elsten. He will join us next. That was a quick don't and do this.
I don't know what the do this was, but
actually.
That was Don't Do This with Ben and Woods on 97.3 The Fan.
All right, we'll talk with our buddy Craig Elsten to get his thoughts on both the World Cup and the San Diego Padres. Coming up next with Ben and Woods on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
He just, here, I'll show you a little. Just a little.
Please don't.
Just a little bit. What hurts on you?
Nothing at all.
A little bit.
Nothing. Now,
so let's say
whatever you're about to touch is the only thing.
Let's say
it's going to hurt.
Right?
All right, yeah.
Okay.
Pretend your knee hurts.
Pretend your knee hurts.
It's going to in a second.
Right here.
That is not pleasant.
Hey, player, this is all yours. This room with this view. This speakeasy with this cocktail. Hey, could you make that too? The spa with this. And this pool on this roof. This is all for you. The all-new Hamul Casino Resort, now open.
Better What's brought to you by David P. Shapiro, criminal defense attorneys, helping good people regain control of their future when charged with a crime since 2010. Visit davidpshapirolaw.com. And let's go right out to our SDCCU fan hotline. So much to talk about with the host of the Padres Hot Tub podcast and the Chromaniacs podcast. Craig Elsten is back with us for his regular Monday segment. I know people are mad for my hot takes on soccer because I'm not, the soccer guy. And I only, watch the World Cup religiously now the last few weeks. I still don't get the offsides rule. Why can't, if any part of you be onside, you're onside? Why is it that just if one fingertip is offsides, you're offside?
Sorry about him, Craig.
It just makes perfect sense. It just adds a little more excitement and
typical novice wanting, typical novice soccer fan wanting things to be his way. I've seen it a bunch on social media.
We got like 20 things to talk about in 12 minutes, and you want to relitigate offside.
Yes. Let's do check swings while we're at it, Craig. Over here. No, it's been a remarkable tournament. It's been so fun.
Unbelievable.
It's so great, too. Like, we have a really good schedule where we're off the air. I get home, and I'm like, leave me alone. I'm watching the game. And my wife's like, man, you really gotten into this World Cup. I'm like, it's such high drama, high theater. It is not disappointed even a little bit.
Yesterday's game was, I mean, you came in figuring it was going to be great. You had 5 days of anticipating that England in Mexico City at Estadio Azteca, against El Tri was going to be something special. And then that game was a Roman candle that just kept firing little pods up into the air. And you're like, I thought this thing was supposed to be out.
It wouldn't end. There's no end of the balls shooting out of it. It just wouldn't stop. It was like excruciating.
It was such an incredible match. Honestly, I thought the way that Norway handled Brazil earlier in the day was equally remarkable. And this has just been a beautiful, beautiful tournament. It is an absolute shame that we've had this, paring of it with a bizarre decision. And it really has put a damper for me personally on this evening's affair. But nonetheless, we're going to go out there and root for Team USA, because this group doesn't deserve to be punished for what the parents are doing.
Sure. Great point. It's a great point. And I just keep thinking, all right, man, put yourself in Belgium's shoes. You're livid. Put yourself in, like, Craig, if something like this happened with the Soccers, you'd be like, oh, this can't happen. But inside you're screaming like, yes, we are best player. One of our best players is going to be there tonight based on some weird decision made from the higher ups. Don't look a gift horse in the mouth, I think is the is one of the best sayings for this. And like you said, not the players' fault, man. They've been given everything they've got. Should be. What is your kind of take on the match? What would it have been without him?
I think this is okay. So, looking at the grand scheme of things, all right, I feel like the U.S. men's team just went from a win-win scenario to a lose-lose scenario. This team has inspired this country. They have the country believing in them. They were going to go out to take on a European power, like the 6th choice European power, but still a tough European team with some very famous names on it. And if they win, it's the greatest, one of the greatest wins in U.S. soccer history. And if they lost, it's like, okay, they made it to 16. They didn't have Balogun. They did really well. They kind of fulfilled their promise. Now, if you win, if Balogun goes out and pulls an Erling Haaland and scores a brace and the U.S. beats Belgium 2-1, you can't not say that it's a decision that was rendered unfairly, because the only reason Balogun's on the team is because of pure, undiluted corruption. There's no two ways about it. Even us as Americans should be able to recognize that two things can be true at once. One, Balogun's red card was a little skeevy and influenced by technology, but that's the same as every other red card in the tournament. And every other red card in the tournament has led to a suspension, and this one didn't, specifically because the president of the United States decided to put his thumb on the scale, and he's got his friend holding the scale.
Yeah, his friend's holding the scale, right? So it's a phone call away.
Are we missing the bigger point, though? Is corruption part of the game?
Right.
That you need to be good at corruption to be good at the World Cup. It's like, one of the judges scores. If it's like the Olympics, it's like, hey, that's a perfect 10.0 in corruption. That is part of the game at the World Cup.
Can we be more corrupt as the organization of the Padres, or as Ben and Woods? Can we be more corrupt? Fix the ratings and whatnot.
If only you had all of that power. But, FIFA, which we all know already is the most corrupt organization in global sports, but usually the trillionaire glad handing and the power move in the power offices, all that happens before the World Cup.
Right. Not during.
That's how they decide where to play the World Cup, is through blatant corruption and bribery. And then they let the games play out. And I just think it's a damn shame. And it's not to be political one way or another. It's absolutely just as true if Mexico had Raul Jimenez on a red card and had him reinstated because their president made a call, or if Belgium had De Bruyne suspended and had him reinstated because the president of Belgium made a call.
Oh, we'd be livid.
The one thing you don't want in the World Cup is to have any feeling other than these teams are fairly competing against each other. The whole idea is that this isn't about politics. This isn't about who's a global power and who can throw their weight around and who has the most trillionaires. It's about these 11 against these 11 on this pitch right now. What happens 90 minutes? Let's go. That's the beauty of this sport. That's what's compelling about it. That's what will be gone forever if that is taken away. So that's why I'm so upset about that decision. Nonetheless, I'm wearing my red, white, and blue. I'm going to be at a watch party today. I'm going to be fired up for this match because the World Cup is a beautiful, beautiful thing.
Yeah, no doubt. It's now let's talk about not so beautiful thing. Losers of 8 out of 9. Craig, that was an excruciating road trip. Excruciating. We were there for a lot of it. We got blamed for the 3 games in Chicago. But then luckily they went to LA and did what they do in LA. But yeah, man, where do you stand on the where do you stand on kind of what we discussed earlier? If you heard it,
I did.
The Craig Stammen, the AJ Preller,
kind of the state of the Padres,
state of the Padres here. A week before the All-Star game.
I understand the need to defend the status quo in general. I feel like sometimes the message gets muddled as a result. So let me say one thing clearly first. This season isn't over. And no matter how bad things are going, there's no reason to make a decision on July 6th in terms of the direction that the Padres have to go. It's fine for a phone, a call in on our podcast or a call in on your show to say, you got to do this, you got to do that. But the Padres have no need to make a decision right now. The next week could see them win 6 games in a row and completely reframe what's happening right now. Does it feel like that's going to happen? Of course not, but it could happen. So the Padres are doing the right thing right now by not doing anything, and they shouldn't do anything right now. They've got 3 weeks, 3-4 weeks to figure this out. With that said, I truly bristle against the message that you just can't stop what's going on here, that you just can't do it. Well, if you stop, then people will stop coming to the ballpark. And if they stop coming to the ballpark, then the owners are not going to have the money to be able to pay for the payrolls. And then they're going to have to... Come on. As a season ticket member, the worst message the San Diego Padres can send to me is to double down on a bad team. To take a team that's a losing team that's not going to make the playoffs and trade whatever's left in the minor leagues to try and make it a better team. Because I think one thing is really, really, really clear, guys. To make a trade, specifically a trade that substantively improves San Diego's standing in the National League, only one thing can happen, right? Ethan Salas has to be traded.
He's got to go, whether it's for Sonny Gray or Tarek Skubal. That's what they're going to be asking for, along with, Cash Mayfield, along with whoever else you have down there. That
Schoolcraft, right?
Sure.
Yeah, but you've got 3 or 4 guys that could get you anything. And Salas is the number one and is kind of the number only. And last year we came into 2025 saying, well, the Padres have 2 guys.
Yeah, Leo.
And that's it. They've got DeVries and they've got Salas, and then they traded DeVries. If you trade Salas right now, what you're telling me is, Padre fan, you have to love this team because this is the best team you're going to get the next 8 years. Everything is going to be worse for the next 7 years from now. And maybe not in a linear fashion. Maybe 1 year you spike up a little bit. Maybe there's 2 years you spike up a little bit. But the general message is you have to love this team and you have to keep loving it because it's never going to be better than this right now. And I reject that as a premise. I do believe that the Padres have an opportunity as an organization, if it continues to go the way it's going, to not have to fire AJ Preller, to not have to fire everybody and clean house or empty things, but to pivot, to simply pivot. You have expiring contracts on this team. You have people who are going away. Not all the ones that you could have had, right? Laureano's out,
right.
Adams out. There's obviously it's not perfect, but you still have an opportunity to make moves, to pivot to make 2027 better than 2026. And there's needs to be within this organization some type of path to not telling me as a season ticket member, your ticket price is going to go up and the team's going to get worse every year for the next 7 years. Please enjoy your Manny Machado bobblehead.
That's a lot.
Please enjoy this beach time.
That's a lot of pressure, though, I think, on Ethan Salas, right? If you say, if you trade Salas, the next 8 years are going to suck.
I was thinking the same. I was like, what if Salas isn't that good?
What if he's not that good, right? Like, there's always that other question of like, can he do it? You know, is he going to break his back again? You know, I mean, it's just like prospects are so. But then, you know, this year has been a really good example, Craig, of seeing guys, impact guys like J.J. Weatherholt, like Kevin McGonigal, guys that come up, they're like, we got here opening day, we're still in the lineup, and many are saying should have been all-stars, right?
McGonigal is an all-star.
McGonigal is an all-star. J.J. probably should have been, right? Impact free agents. Can Ethan Salas be that? Yes, I think he can. Can I guarantee it? I can't. I wish I could.
No, you can't. And so therefore, every year you can always make an argument for trading a prospect for 2 years of control of a 29-year-old player. Like you can always make that argument. It always holds logical truth. And this isn't just to specifically put it all on Ethan Salas, but Salas is the talisman of the situation.
The Salasman,
right now,
if you will.
Yeah, he is the Salasman of the situation. So I just think that the philosophy.
Yes, it's a philosophy.
When you were in, let me put it this way: when you were in Chicago, you were hearing Cubs fans of a team that is substantively better than San Diego, saying, "We don't need to put more resources into this team.
100%.
We don't have the pitching. It's not it." The Padres,
100%.
by every measure, the Padres are behind the Cubs.
Yeah.
In this situation, the offense is worse. Even the decimated pitching staff is worse. So. Why do we then subscribe to, well, we have no choice but to double down on this team?
Is that crazy? Like, if you're a Cubs fan, aren't you like, you better be buying at the deadline? Aren't you like, aren't we all going, you better be buying at the deadline, right? Aren't we? With that lineup?
Well, yes, but
not at the expense of
your... They can be measured.
Buying at the margins, maybe?
The margins, maybe, yeah. It's tough.
Yeah, but you don't always have to sell out. That's
you don't.
I've said like the last couple of weeks now, like I'm going to be mad if the Padres have one of these blockbuster trade deadlines like we've seen in the past. I'd be like, this is not the team to go all in on. I just don't feel.
I think ultimately the Dodgers are the measuring stick against every other team in baseball, especially in the National League.
You can't beat them.
You can't, and you can't. You can beat them in a short series.
Don't be them.
But
you can't be them.
You can't beat them. But you can beat them in a short series, but you're never going to make any trades that are going to make you even close to on paper what the Dodgers are. Nor are the Cubs, nor are the Brewers, really, nor are the Braves.
Right.
There's no move that you can go, now I like our roster. Yep. Our roster now competes head-to-head against the Dodgers. No team can do that.
I don't think they can.
You're always just hoping to beat them in a short series in the playoffs. And I think most teams, including the Cubs and the Padres, will go, I mean, you know, we just need to do whatever we can if we can get there. And then hopefully, you know, the gods smile on us and we get lucky in October. But there's no way to make your roster as good as the Dodgers roster.
No, there isn't. And they don't, you know, so you don't have to compare them. But right now, I'm just looking at the three teams that are in the wild card positions and saying we've lost the season series to all three of you. We've got three other teams in between us and you.
Yep.
What move makes us better than you? What move makes us better than the Cardinals?
Right.
What move makes us better than the Cubs? And I'm having a hard time getting to the point that there's a move that will get you to the Eric Grupner sweet spot, which is the 4 seed and those 3 home games in the first round. It's hard to see right now. It doesn't mean it's impossible. And I'll restate what I said at the beginning. It's not the time to act yet. This team can still turn it around. There's still a way for the embers to turn into a fire that's burning. But if it doesn't happen, we shouldn't be precious about saying, oh, no, the world is collapsing because the Padres aren't going for it in 2026. Like, many smart teams choose not to go for it certain years and pivot so that they can go for it the next year.
Sure.
I'm tired of continuously piling money on our credit card to the point, so to speak, you know, metaphorically,
the American
to
way.
the point where we're like, the next 3 years we are just going to, have to sell the house.
Yeah.
Essentially, that's not what I'm into.
I totally get
as
it.
I said earlier, the equation changed over the last 9 days with the Padres now 5 games or 4 games behind 2 teams that they have to catch. Changed the equation. We weren't totally unexpected. I didn't think this would be a good stretch. I said 6 and 7 would be probably pretty solid. They went 5 and 8 in the 13 game stretch, and if Jake had made one play, they would have been 6 and 7, just where I wanted them to be.
7.
But the equation has changed now. You have to outplay multiple teams by multiple games the rest of the way. And it's tough to find that path right now for the San Diego Padres.
Big time.
Craig, we're out of time. It's good to know that Manny probably listens to you as well. You're drinking out of your baseball is stupid. No one should watch. Manny literally said yesterday, baseball is stupid and none of us should be playing.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yesterday.
I loved it.
Yeah.
Favorite thing I've ever heard him say. I'm like, Daddy,
so good.
you and me, baby.
Craig, really appreciate it. We'll talk to you again next Monday.
Thanks, brother.
All right, take care.
All right, we will take a time out. A little bit late. We'll come back. We've got brand new prize for Take on Woods, a new trip to Las Vegas, new categories to Take on Woods this week as well. And our insider, Padres Linsider, Dennis Lynn, is also going to join us. So lots to get to in the second half of Ben and Woods, all coming up next on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
We are halfway home on a Monday. Ben and Woods, 97.3, The Fan. Great to be back after a long weekend. Hopefully everybody had a safe 4th and didn't blow your hand off lighting fireworks. Always creeps me out, those pictures that come out and, guy loses his hand. Paulie, what's the thing you posted? The guy in the wheelchair?
Backup Terry?
Backup Terry is one of the greatest.
Posted every 4th of July.
Every 4th of July. Uncle Terry, I think, is in the street.
Backup Terry?
Uncle in the street.
Reverse, Terry?
They light the fireworks, and he can't get his wheelchair to reverse. And he's just in the middle of it. It's just like, and he's just like, ah! Dude,
the guy's laughing.
They're laughing so hard. It's just an unbelievable video. But it always, here it is.
Hold the hand, Tebow. Oh, bag up, Terry.
Terry.
Put it in reverse, Terry. Put it in reverse. Oh, Lord, please. Oh, Lord. Oh, Steve. What you doing, Terry? Terry,
Why doesn't some roll him out?
Nobody wants to walk into the fire. Terry is fine, by the way. Terry is fine.
You sure of that?
I'm sure.
Okay.
Terry is fine. So that's what always freaks me out about the 4th of July. We got Paulie, our executive producer. We got Benny, our friendly neighborhood sports anchor. Had a great time with you fellas in Chicago. The heat was very oppressive. It was good to get back. The minute you touch down in San Diego, you just walk out and you go.
We got back Thursday night. Friday morning, my dog likes to go out on the patio when the sun hits it, and she just lays out there for hours. It was about 9 a.m. Sun started to come out, and she's chilling. I go out there, and I sit down, and I just went like this, threw my arms in the air, because to be outside and feel the sun and not be 95 degrees and drying up like a sponge, I take San Diego for granted.
There was a lot of talk. I did the anchoring on Friday night, and the humidity, the remnants of tropical depression Doug. We're making it a little bit sticky here in San Diego. I'm going,
you got no
bring
idea.
it on. A little bit sticky. No,
Save
where
that,
we just
by the
came
way.
from, they would be shouting to the heavens hallelujah if they could get the weather that we had over the weekend.
Well, and then the minute we left, there was a deluge. There was it was inches and inches of rain. It flooded.
That would have been way
Field.
worse. As bad
Way
as
worse.
the heat was, that would have been worse, because then you're not doing anything.
One of our tier 1, Sergio, stayed an extra day. I don't know that he was on the trip. He might have been. I can't remember. But he said, dude, we left on Friday, and we were delayed for 8 hours, and we got home at 1:40 a.m. because the thunderstorms were so bad. So very grateful we got out in time. Again, shout out to David J. at Hop Run Tours. Incredible experience. His assistant, Colleen, knocked it out of the park. They made us feel so special and took such good care of us.
I also want to thank all of the tier 1s who came up to us that weren't on the trip.
Yes.
That we ran into at the Cubby Bear.
Oh, David says they all owe him at least $300.
Well, but I do want to bring this up because, yes, we have already started preliminary discussions about doing this again next year because it was such a success. David has already started a waiting list for next year.
Crazy.
I don't think there's any debate in we're all in on doing it.
Yeah.
It's a matter of waiting for the schedule to come out in about a month or so.
My recommendation would be, we will get a schedule in about a month. Then we can start looking at actual potential series for next year. And as soon as it's announced, I think we put this together around January or February earlier this year. Whenever it's announced, you were going to want to act quickly because everybody had such a good time.
We had a little over 60 people,
maybe.
We talked about how much could it grow. I don't know that David's bandwidth could go more than 75 at the most.
It's not like fantasy camp that can be 8 times larger than it was the first year.
Right.
We can only go so far, and you're going to want to get your name on as early as possible. As soon as keep an eye on Hop Run Tours and any announcements that come out in the next few months.
Yeah, it's also a strike season potentially, so that will have a lot to do with it if they can get a deal hammered out. But yeah,
David says it's not growing.
It's not growing!
Exclamation point.
Joe Arnold says Bennewood's banned. No more road games. 0-3. I know, bro. Trust me.
Yeah,
we haven't been lucky.
No,
when it comes to going and visiting and traveling with our Padres.
No, we have not. I'm trying to remember
Now we've gone to see two good teams, hot weather. They're not the most conducive road trips to bring home a lot of
Maybe we'll go
victories.
to Denver next year.
Yeah, there you go.
Give us a shot at least. I mean,
Sacramento.
Rockies are playing
perhaps?
a little bit. Rockies are playing better. They could be really good next year. You have no idea if we even play at all. But it was great. It was awesome. It was great to be back though too, man. So good to get back, hang with the kids, and get summer going for them. They are summer animals, man. The pool. We've been at the pool. They want to go as soon as I'm done today. They want to go swim again, and I'm so sunburned. I don't know what to do. Told my wife, I go, here we go. I'm now going to be the guy in the pool with his kids with a swim shirt on and a big floppy hat to protect my neck from sizzling like bacon.
I assume you put sunscreen on, right?
I did. I think
Do you
maybe
reapply?
I think I did reapply.
Did you go in the water too fast?
I think I got in the water. I rubbed in.
Yeah.
I rubbed it in. I think I might have gotten in the water too fast. And it washes it off. What's the appropriate time to wait? About 10 minutes?
About 15 minutes.
I
after
gotta
you
sit there
put
and
in
marinate for
sunscreen,
15
I think.
minutes?
Well,
Is
you
that
can
right?
also pre-plan, put the sunscreen on
At home.
at home like 35 minutes early.
I
and
did that on the legs and the arms, and I don't know. I'm cooked. And it just sucks all of the life out of you being out in the sun. It really does. That's why I like to sit inside and watch baseball most days and play with my baseball cards. That's it. That's what makes me happy right now. But if they want to swim, guess that's what I'm going to do. Somebody said, are you guys like Pantone 294 in the streets? No, we weren't. We just went in and had a good time. We didn't feel the need to march down the streets of Chicago.
Hey, look at us. Everybody, look at us.
Like dill holes, carrying signs. And we just went and had a good time. And we had beers before the game. And
there were a ton of Padres fans in Chicago.
A ton. And no, so we don't need to do a big production like that. We're not going to. I would refuse to participate in it if we did.
You win something first.
Yeah, you got to win something.
Then maybe you can.
But even then, I'm not doing it. I think it's corny and super lame.
Yeah. Well, hopefully everybody had a good 4th of July weekend. Today is the 6th of July, which is notable as it is the 34th birthday of Manny Machado.
Yes, happy birthday, Manuel.
Happy birthday to Manny. He had a 3-run home run yesterday and certainly has been playing better. But when you see the number 34, it does underscore the fact that Manny is hitting the later stages of his career at this point.
Yes.
34 is not 31, certainly not 28 or 27. He is definitely getting to the point where the better days are probably more behind him than in front of him.
Yep.
So, we had the discussion in the first half of the show about the contract and the fact that the Padres still have 7 more years after this of Manny Machado. There's going to be here for a long time. And he's not the problem this year. He hasn't been. He got off to a very slow start, but
the average is the average right now.
Yeah,
he's
but
hitting homers
the last few weeks, he's probably been the Padres' most productive hitter in the lineup. So you're getting still production out of Manny Machado. That won't hold for the entire length of the contract. I think we all kind of agree with that.
Yes.
How do you pivot? How do you move forward and build, around other players? Well, Manny slowly becomes more of a complementary piece rather than the guy that you build your lineup around.
Yeah. Somebody said, SD Jones, he said, saw someone say we have Manny and X for 2 more World Cups. Whew. It's a jarring way to, we'll be in our 60s.
Perhaps if
Almost.
we bribe FIFA to get them done faster, things
that's true.
will change.
That's true. So that's we'll talk more Padres baseball as we go on. Dennis Lynn joining us at 8:35. A lot of injury updates and stuff that we need. Jeremiah Estrada is one. I had seen something on Twitter that said he was done for the year. Right?
Padres have certainly not announced that.
They have not said that. But then I saw Jeff Sanders tweet that he threw a bullpen yesterday, and Craig said he looked good. So I don't know what's what.
I would probably lean more toward that than some random Twitter comment. If he was throwing bullpens, then you would think that he would expect to come back.
I would hope so.
Jason Adam with the right shoulder inflammation is probably not back. Even by his own estimates, he said aggressive timeline gets him back in early
August?
to mid-August.
Yeah.
So a more realistic one is probably more like
shoulder?
the end shoulder. Yeah.
God, man.
Which is unfortunate. And then, the biggest injuries right now are the starting pitching staff. Randy Vasquez we didn't specifically talk about the game in which the Padres took the 6-0 lead.
Let's talk about it.
Took the comebacker off the ankle, stayed in the game, but clearly wasn't himself, and then ended up fainting and having to go to the hospital after the game, and then was placed on the injured list with the ankle contusion. So, I mean, should he have stayed in that game? Probably not. In hindsight, they probably should have taken him out, but the Padres pitching is so thin, and they've used so many innings from their long relievers during the losing streak. They had very little recourse other than hope that Randy could get through. And, you know, in that occasion with the 6-0 lead, it was like
brutal, dude.
Just the worst possible timing to have him. You know, he had already been struggling the previous couple of starts.
Yeah.
And then he takes the liner off the ankle, which ultimately put him on the injured list. Yeah, it's not really that shocking that the Dodgers came back to win that game in hindsight.
Oh, God. It was so excruciating. That was such an excruciating loss. And you go out, you get to Roki Sasaki and just tattoo that guy all over the yard. And, man, you're feeling so good. And then, boom, just like that, it's over. And, it was horrible. It was a horrible experience. I don't know what's happened to Randy. Obviously, he's frustrated by it. I'm sure Ruben is pulling his hair out right now at what to do with Randy Vasquez. But, I mean, Ben, the balls that get hit off him are like legendarily hard. I feel like it just looks like a cement mixer when it comes up there. I think it's his cutter. You got to put that pitch in the back pocket. You got to find something else. I mean, it's cutter. I think guys are getting like 680 off his cutter or something.
Well, now he's on the injured list. So, hopefully a reset, and however long that takes to get him back, they can work on some things on the side. Maybe he has a rehab start, figure things out. But that means you also have a spot to fill in your rotation coming up.
Right.
But tomorrow? Is it going to be Johnny Brito? Is it going to be Matt Waldron called up? You certainly are going to have to activate someone, I would think, to add to your starting rotation tomorrow. So that's the next question mark. There has been some good injury news as well. Getting Luis Camposano back is nice. Big. And getting him back in the lineup yesterday, a hit, couple of walks.
Freddie Fermin also on the IL.
But Freddie Fermin goes on with the forehead bruise, which is not the concussion list, but he's just taken a beating back there this season.
Yes. Friday night's game. That's the one, right? That was, or was it Thursday night?
Thursday night was up 6-0.
That's that one.
Fridays was the grand slam when you were up 3-0.
Padres actually played a really good game.
They did. They played such a good game that night until that.
Great.
Kinger was awesome.
They got to Ohtani multiple times.
Let's talk about the Kinger situation. Okay, I saw a bunch of different takes, and I'll say this: Don seemed incensed that they would pull Michael King out of that inning. Okay, so Michael King comes in. It's 3-0. He goes into the 7th, correct? And he goes walk hit. Okay,
not scorched, but walk hit.
Walk hit. His numbers the third time through this season have been horrific. Craig then goes to high leverage arm, who gets the double.
Adrian Morejon against Kyle Tucker. You feel like the matchup is there. Get a ground ball, get out of the inning. And that was the strategy.
Got the ground ball, Crony boots it. I think that was the right decision. I do think that was the right decision. Michael King, none of your guys. Now, it's funny because you can argue the point, Ben. We've been begging for length, and King's got it. Well, how many pitches was he at? 75, and he was like, looked good, but again, you falter a little bit. I think it's on Michael King. You don't walk that leadoff guy, man. Pitch to contact. You got a 3-run lead, pitch to contact, and then you get to stay in that inning. And I thought it was the right decision. Obviously, it backfired like a mother when Crony booted that ball. But he got the ground ball he needed. Adrian also doesn't have to hang that pitch on the first pitch to Teoscar Hernandez either. There's a lot of blame to go around. I feel like Craig is a bit snake bit right now with every decision he makes because his players are just not executing at all right now. And I
think it was the right aggressive. Do you want to win that game?
You want to win that
really
game.
Need to win that game. That was the right aggressive decision. If you were on a 6-game winning streak, you might leave Michael King out there.
Let him out. See if we can get out of it.
Let's even get out of it. Let's see if we can preserve our bullpen a little bit. But you have to win that game. And the move you make when you have to win that game is you bring in Adrian Morejon to face the left-hander and get that out. And maybe a double play. Yeah. And, it just didn't work out because Jake didn't make the play, unfortunately. But I don't think that was a bad decision by the manager.
It ripped my soul out when that ball went over the fence.
I did not hear Jesse's call. I just listened to it. The Grand Slam?
Oh, I haven't heard it
either.
Listen to the preamble.
And if you ever listen to Tony and Jesse during a Dodger game, you're sick of us saying it, but mistakes against this team. Hernandez in the air, deep to left center field, way back, and gone, a grand slam. Mistakes against this team, you always pay a price. Dodger Stadium erupts as Hernandez clears the bases. It is 4-3 LA.
The timing on that, one more time, just the beginning part.
And if you ever listen to Tony and Jesse during a Dodger game, you're sick of us saying it, but mistakes against this team.
Crack.
Hernandez in the air.
God.
That was me. You would have blamed me for saying something right there.
Probably.
But really, it's just Jesse being smart and knowing baseball.
I mean, that doesn't take a genius to figure out you make a mistake against the Dodgers, they're going to make you pay. I thought we were going to blow that one last night. Dude, I was a wreck about that game last night as well when Shohei got that hit. Adrian scuffed a little bit. He went he threw a lot of pitches yesterday. He did a great job, actually, and kept us right there. And Mason Miller.
Yeah, he hasn't been perfect lately, though.
No, he has not.
And that was part of it. Baseball coverage on 97.3 The Fan is presented by Xfinity. Score the most reliable Wi-Fi. One price, 5 years, guaranteed. Xfinity. Imagine that. When we come back, it is time for our first game of Take on Woods for July with a brand new prize, a getaway to the Fountain Blue in Las Vegas and $150 food and beverage credit. Got all the categories for you. So if you want to be our contestant, 833-288-0973. Call now. We'll play our game next. And then Dennis Lynn, our Linsider, at the bottom of the hour. All coming up with Ben and Woods live from our Bill House Studios. We know how on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan. First, though, San Diego, great place to live, but we all know it is not getting any cheaper. Housing, healthcare, taxes, groceries, it all adds up. And when people start thinking about retirement, that one fear rises to the top. I've been telling you for the last few months, what if my money doesn't last? That's where Trajan Wealth comes in. TRAJANwealth.com. Trajan Wealth's fiduciary advisors help people build retirement strategies designed for our reality here. Inflation here, market uncertainty, and the real cost of living in San Diego. They take the time to understand you, your goals, your comfort level, because no retirements look the same. Trajan Wealth has offices at Liberty Station, Carlsbad, and Del Mar, and they work with people who want confidence and not constant stress. So if this has been on your mind, start with a call, 1-855-TRAJAN-1. That's 1-855-TRAJAN-1, or just go online at TRAJANwealth.com. Trajan Wealth, plan smarter, dream bigger. Advisory services through Trajan Wealth LLC. Additional services through Trajan Estate and Trajan Tax. Actual client, paid advertisement. Additional disclosures at TrajanWealth.com.
Hey, player, this is all yours. And this pool on this roof. This is all for you. The all-new Hamul Casino Resort, now open.
Hard to believe that 1 week from today, we will be in the All-Star break.
Wow. What are we going to talk about?
You guys will be in the
That's true. Paulie's
on
gone.
Vacation. Damn it. Is Klug in here?
Kyle.
We could be debating. If Adam was in here, we could just be roasting him over, like raking him over the coals.
We'll be on to the semifinals and finals of the World Cup next week.
Yeah.
So there'll be some soccer talk.
We'll only have one All-Star to talk about, Mason Miller. Back to the
just one,
which
we knew. I mean, there was no surprises whatsoever there. It's a weird All-Star roster, though. There's a lot of the stars did not have good first halves of the season. American League voters did mostly the right thing and did not vote all Blue Jays into the game because they're like 7 games under 500. Although Vlad Guerrero Jr. did get voted in, even though he had a horrible first half, and then announced, I'm not going. This is insane. I am going to just take the All-Star game off.
Yes.
So he declined his invitation to the All-Star game.
Correct. And I do think the All-Star week from here on out should be the Ben and Woods vacation week. I say that as I've already booked my next year's vacation during All-Star.
Have you already?
Yes, it's already done.
So you've got your plan
I've got
for
my
next
plans,
year?
Yes.
All right. We could always just play a lot of games next week.
Ooh, I like games.
Let's play one right now. It is time for Take on Woods. Take on Woods, brought to you by Bay Alarm, security and fire alarms for every business. We got you, and Paulie says we got Ron. Are you there, Ron?
I am there.
Hi, Ron. You get to be the first contestant of the month, a blank slate, as it were, to try to qualify for a brand new grand prize. It is a 2-night stay at the Fontainebleau, Las Vegas, and a $150 food and beverage credit. The Oasis pool deck at the Fontainebleau is officially open for the season, a 6-acre elevated pool experience with 6 distinct pools and Live Beach. You can book your stay at FontainebleauLasVegas.com now. All right, here are the categories for this week, all 4 of them. We got our TV category, must-see TV, all about those Thursday night NBC shows from the 90s. Movies, a little movie magic. It is 5 films that include the word little in the title. Music, table for 2, bands that all have the number 2 somewhere in their name. And our wild card category this week is airport codes. Since we were just flying through the airports, we thought we'd do some airport codes for you this week. So would you like to play TV, movies, music, or wild card, Ron?
Let's do TV.
TV. All right. Must-see TV is the category. We're looking for 5 sitcoms that all spent at least some time as part of NBC's must-see TV lineup from the 90s and early 2000s. You'll have 60 seconds to answer as many of the 5 as you can. If you don't know once they pass, we'll come back to it if there's time left on the clock. First question's our 2-second TV theme song. You need to identify the show from the TV theme. If you beat or tie Woods, you're in the drawing for the trip to Las Vegas. Ron, are you ready to play?
Yes, sir.
All right, let's put 60 seconds on the clock. The category is must-see TV. Your time begins when Paul plays our TV theme song. Good luck, Ron. Let's take on Woods.
Friends.
Correct. Paul Reiser and Helen Hunt played a married couple in New York City in which show that debuted in 1992?
Mad About You.
Correct. Zach Braff starred in which 2000 sitcom set at Sacred Heart Teaching Hospital?
Oh, God. Pass.
From former Back to the Future star Leah Thompson played a cartoonist in Manhattan in which late 90s sitcom?
Pass.
David Spade and Wendy Malick were part of the cast of which sitcom set at the fashion magazine Blush?
Just Shoot Me.
Correct. Zach Braff starred in which 2000 sitcom set at Sacred Heart Teaching Hospital?
Pass.
Former Back to the Future star Leah Thompson played a cartoonist in Manhattan in which late 90s sitcom?
Blinking out.
Running out of time. You got 3. Quickly. It could be enough. All right, we got the 3. Friends, Mad About You, and Just Shoot Me. The ones you didn't get were Scrubs. With Zach Braff, and Caroline in the City. That was a tough one. Don't know how Woods is going to do. I'll give him the category, though. TV today. Must-see TV is your category. All right, let's put 60 seconds on the clock. Your time begins when Paul plays our TV theme song. Good luck, Woods. Let's take on Ron.
Friends.
Correct. Paul Reiser and Helen Hunt played a married couple.
Mad About You.
Correct. Zach Braff starred in which 2000
Scrubs.
Correct. Former Back to the Future star Leah Thompson played a cartoonist in Manhattan in which late 90s sitcom?
Dark period for me, pass.
David Spade and Wendy Malick were part of the cast of which sitcom set at the fashion magazine Blush?
F. We don't know. I'm out.
Either of them?
Neither.
No guesses.
No guesses.
All right, that means we got a 3-3 tie, which is good enough for Ron to qualify. Must-see TV. You missed Caroline in the City and Just Shoot Me with David Spade, Wendy Malick. She got Scrubs, which he didn't get, but he got Just Shoot Me. So that was all Thursday night NBC sitcoms from their must-see TV era. All right, we've got TV taken care of. We've got
TV's
3
out.
categories remaining. We got
Take
our
a
first
tie, a draw.
qualifier for our trip to the Fontainebleau, Las Vegas. Congratulations to Ron. Stay on the line. Paulie will get your info, and when we come back, we will chat with our friend Dennis Lynn, our Linsider, to talk some more Padres baseball next year on 97.3 The Fan.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. GEGE 000466. For a full list of games and rules, play at 7 Mile Casino. Visit 7milecasino.com.
It's been so long, Ben, since we've gotten to talk about 7 Mile Casino, just 7 minutes from downtown. Didn't talk about them last week when we were in Chicago.
Yeah, we were a couple thousand miles away.
Right.
So now we're much closer, and it's much easier to get to. San Diego's most upscale. Best card room. You're going to be able to play 4 different games there. California-style blackjack, Texas Hold'em poker, Pai Gow, and Baccarat at 7 Mile Casino.
Yeah, it's exactly right. Smoke-free environment as well. They got a great patio. You can go sit outside. And, I mean, look, after sitting out and rotting in 100-degree weather, sitting on the patio at 7 Mile is basically like what it would be like to be in heaven because it is just such a different vibe out there. Have a beer, have a Sprite, relax with your friends. It's a beautiful, beautiful place, and it's a cool upscale place as well.
Friendly dealers, comfortable chairs. I can't say anything.
Right
Friendly
now?
dealers, comfortable chairs. They've got it all. Everything you're looking for in a card room at 7 Mile Casino. Check it out today. Right off the 5 freeway in Chula Vista. You get off E. You're right there on the frontage road. It's Bay Boulevard. It's 7 Mile Casino, just 7 minutes from downtown.
He just here. I'll show you a little. Just a little.
Please don't.
Just a little bit. What hurts on you?
Nothing at all.
A little bit.
Nothing. Now,
so let's say
whatever you're about to touch is the only thing.
Let's say
it's going to hurt.
Right?
All right, yeah.
Okay.
Pretend your knee hurts.
Pretend your knee hurts.
It's going to in a second.
Right here.
Oh, that is not pleasant.
Hey, player, this is all yours. This room with this. And this pool on this roof. This is all for you. The all-new Hamul Casino Resort, now open.
This hour on 97.3 The Fan is brought to you by GL Pools, the swimming pool experts trusted by thousands of San Diegans since 2006. Baseball season is in full swing, so is swim season, as Woods' sunburn will attest. Make sure your pool is ready. Call now, mention radio for a free month of pool service. I see our friend Welsh Fryer is in our YouTube chat. Now, Wales has their own World Cup team, so he was not cheering for England, but I saw the videos of people in England up until just after 4 a.m. cheering on their team. I've got to imagine this will be the least productive work day
or the most
in London in a long time.
Or the most. Everyone's fired up. They're on a high.
Imagine your morning. Stay awake and go straight to work after like watching soccer and drinking all night.
Yeah.
And then they just go straight to work on a Monday morning.
Just don't stop.
Didn't we just talk about the country that gave the president gave everyone the day off the next day?
Next day. I for morning radio show host. They call them breakfast shows over there.
Oh, do they?
Yeah, but the breakfast club, breakfast show. We would crush staying up to watch the Padres win a World Series at 4 a.m. and then coming right in. It'd be amazing.
Have a full English breakfast with the breakfast show.
That's just what they call it. It's weird.
All right, let's go out right now and be joined. Play is open by our insider, Dennis Lynn.
Happy Monday, Padres fans. It's time to discuss the weekend that was for the Padres with our Ben & Woods Linsider, Dennis Lynn from The Athletic. Brought to you by Hamul Casino Resort. Hey, player, the rooftop pool's open. Day passes are available, and the spa is calling your name. Hamul Casino Resort, the player's place.
Well, Dennis, that was quite the week.
Super fun.
Quite the week for your San Diego Padres. We got to see some of it in person there in Chicago. Obviously didn't get much better in Los Angeles. Will it be the week that ultimately derails the Padres season, in your opinion? And good morning.
Good morning. Yeah, it could be. I think, the fact that they won yesterday, that could be the game that ultimately saves their season, maybe. Although the odds, the playoff odds don't look great right now. But yeah, they're just day to day, every day right now with their pitching. It's hard to build momentum that way when your starter isn't expected to go, more than 2 times through the order in most cases. So yeah, this is a big. This might be even a bigger series than the last series, even though it was against the Dodgers with the D-backs coming up, because they're one of those teams you got to beat to get to the playoffs to get a wild card berth. So I think these 4 games are huge, even though the crowds probably won't be nearly as big as at Dodger Stadium.
Yeah, Dennis, you do feel some fan support and frustration, slipping away. I think we all kind of looked at going into the season and said, man, Fangraphs really doesn't believe in this team. That's weird, because they're bringing this guy back and this guy. Now that's before Pivetta got hurt, and the odds were against us when Pivetta was supposed to be coming back and pitching really well for this team like he did last year. You look at it now and you're like, Fangraphs really doesn't believe in us now. It's been ugly. It's been an ugly thing. And like you said, they're just piecing it together. How much longer can that sustain?
It's not going to sustain, which is why they're still out there. They're looking at the trade market. I know it's going to be weeks before there's much movement there for any team, but yeah, they're looking. They're seeing what they can do with this rotation. They need at least a couple arms, 3 preferably, although I don't know how realistic that is, because they also need offense, of course. But yeah, I mean, you talked about Nick Pivetta. I mean, there were concerns about his arm going into spring training, so it's not like this just totally stuck up on them. I mean, he's got a clause in his contract about elbow injuries and whether his team option is going to be a team option or a player option. Excuse me, actually, it's a player option for right now. Whether that turns to the team option based on elbow injuries. So that just tells you they knew going into the season that this was going to probably be an issue, not only for him, but for other guys. And they chose to roll the dice with a bunch of reclamation projects. And right now it's not working out. It's probably been the worst case scenario for the rotation. So yeah, they're looking to do something on the trade market. We'll just see if they're still in position to justify that in a few weeks.
Now, that's not going to happen today, though, presumably, which means they're going to need a starter tomorrow. What are you hearing? Is it finally Johnny Brito's turn? Is Matt Waldron going to come back? What are the other options if there are other options?
German Marquez is another option. He went 3 innings, as you guys saw at Dodger Stadium, in his first relief appearance in the big leagues in like 10 years. But it will depend, I think, on tonight and how the pitching and the bullpen goes, who's available tomorrow. But yeah, Johnny Brito hasn't pitched in a while, so he'll be an option. He also doesn't have, I think, minor league options left, so that'll be a consideration. They bring him up, but yeah, I think they only have a few that you just listed right there. So we'll see how tonight's game goes, and they'll decide based on that.
Dennis, what's your read on the skipper, Craig Stammen? Somebody that spends, a good amount of time around him. He's a guy, I literally met people in Chicago that grew up with him, right? And had nothing but the greatest things to say about what a human being is. I think we can all agree. Great human being, great father, great husband, all of that. And it's a guy that you can root for because he's easy to root for because he's a good human being. But as far as the manager of the San Diego Padres, catching some grief right now, for his kind of overly positive attitude. But kind of what's your read on that? Is that what this team needs, or do they need somebody totally different? I feel like we've tried every iteration of manager in the last few years. I don't think they've hit on it yet.
Yeah, based on the amount of turnover, they have not come close to finding a sustainable answer there. I agree with you that Craig is a great guy. A lot of people love him. They like being around them. They like talking to him. I think it's still an open question whether he is good or he will be a good manager. I think, obviously right now he hasn't proved it yet. And that was a question that I think even Najee Preller would acknowledge after he hired him. Like, I think he's a great guy. I think the guys will like him, but whether they will, respect him enough and follow his lead, that remains to be seen. And I think right now it's it's hard for Craig too, right? Because like these guys have played with him, Manny Machado's played with him, Fernando Tatis has played with him. So the second he kind of steps outside of who he is or who he has been, they're going to sense that. They're going to be like, well, what are you doing, bro? So I think he's doing what he knows, and he's being who he is, which is a really positive, optimistic guy. And maybe that rings a little hollow at times when you're playing so bad. But that's who he has to be if he's going to retain any credibility in the clubhouse. So I think it's a really interesting hire. Obviously, really big gamble of a hire, especially when you're maybe your own job security for AJ Preller depends on the season and you're going with another rookie manager. But if you look at the other finalists, those are all going to be rookie managers too. And, Nick Hundley, Ruben Niebla, Albert Pujols, and this just happened to be the one that he knew the best. But I think right now it's very much kind of a open question whether he can, kind of rally the troops here. And right now it's a tough go.
Talking to Dennis Lin on our SDCCU fan hotline. It's not Big Bang Banking, it's better. Dennis, we spent so much of the season talking about an offense that was ranked dead last in the National League. Obviously, pitching has become such a bigger concern, but I wouldn't say the offense is completely fixed either at this point. Where would you say that the Padres would look for improvements if they are going to do so at the trade deadline beyond just starting pitching?
Definitely in the outfield, right? Because, Samad Taylor's come back to earth, hasn't played in a few games, and they weren't expecting him to be, an everyday solution anyway. So they'll look in the outfield, probably for a left-handed bat. I know catcher has come up, although I think with Campy back now, and you saw what he could do with the bat this past weekend, I think they're hopeful that he can provide some offense at the bottom of the order. But I think it's a corner bat, whether that's left field, right field, first base. I guess maybe catcher to some extent, because the rest of your lineup's pretty set and pretty immovable to some extent. But I'm also curious to see if maybe they trade off the major league roster, just because they don't have a lot in the farm system. They'd rather not trade Ethan Salas, although you still never rule it out with AJ Preller. And it's just not, it's kind of a weird market all around. I think you're starting to hear people talk about whether, buyers are going to have to trade with other buyers and trade off their own major league rosters. And no one's, more creative or more aggressive and thinks about this stuff more than AJ Preller. So I'm sure he's thinking maybe if I could maybe take advantage of this good Wandy Peralta season or this good Ty France season. Not to say those guys will definitely get traded, but I think that's something he'll consider.
What about Mason? What's your read on it?
I think that decision would have to come down to the very end, but I think all things considered, they'd hate to trade him. Sure. So my guess is he'll still be a Padre after the deadline. I mean, he has a lot of years of control, so if things go south, you could try to trade him in the offseason too. But I think just moving a guy of that caliber is really tough unless you're the guy from the other side, AJ Preller, trading for him. Last year. And a lot of teams, if you ask GMs, just don't want to give up great prospects unless, I guess, you're AJ Preller again last year. So my feeling is he'll be here after the deadline unless they totally just tank in the standings the next few weeks. But it's hard to see a guy who's maybe the best closer in the game, not be used very often. So I understand why you're asking the question.
No doubt.
Well, I think Dennis nailed it. As much as it feels like last week was the defining week of the season, this week is going to be huge.
Every week.
I know it's every week, but you're running out of time.
And then after the All-Star break that week?
No. But if you have a bad week this week, there's not much you can do after the All-Star break. If you have a good week this week, you get a chance to rest, regroup, reset, get healthier, and get closer to both the trade deadline and maybe some of your pitchers coming back. It's just a totally different season, whether you go 5-2 this week or 2-5.
Oh, yeah.
Totally different rest of the season.
Yeah,
so
I agree.
These next two series are incredibly important for the San Diego Padres. I think Dennis laid it out. Dennis, we appreciate you as always. Thank you so much for your time.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks,
see you.
Dennis Lin from The Athletic, our Linsider, joining us each week, brought to you by 7 Mile Casino, or brought to you by Hamul Casino. I'm sorry. Let's get ready for a Reindl Report coming up in our next hour. We had 4 days without a show.
Yeah.
Which means there's a lot of stuff that we have not been able to talk about while we've been off the air for the holiday weekend and traveling back from Chicago. So we got a ton ton of stuff to get to that we haven't talked about yet, and still have an hour to do so.
All right, I'm down.
All right. This hour, I'm Ben Woods, brought to you by David P. Shapiro Criminal Defense Attorneys, helping good people regain control of their future when charged with a crime since 2010. Visit davidpshapirolaw.com. Also in our final hour, anybody interested in going out to the races, opening day is next Friday at Del Mar. We'll give away a pair of tickets. In fact, we'll be giving away tickets all week long to the opening day party at Del Mar on Friday, July 17th. So you'll have your chance to win coming up in our final hour of Ben and Woods. All right, when we come back, Paulie's got some headlines in the Reindl Report. There were some massive NBA moves, trades, and signings. We'll get caught up there, and everything else that is going on in the world of sports coming up next with Ben and Woods on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan. Final hour of Ben and Woods here on a Monday morning. The focus today will be more soccer, I think, than baseball, although the Padres did announce they're going to have that watch party tonight at Petco Park in Gallagher Square. So if you have tickets to the game but also want to see the U.S. soccer game against Belgium, you'll be able to do so on the screens out at Gallagher Square. That game starts at 5. And then the Padres will get started at 6:40, so there'll be a bit of an overlap the last 20 minutes or so.
5 o'clock is the game?
Is the soccer game, yeah. And then 6:40 is the first pitch for the Padres game. They'll have it on both screens, kind of split screened out there, so you can finish watching the soccer game before you fully head in for the Padres game against the Diamondbacks tonight at Petco Park.
Not my favorite combo of sports to watch split screen. I'm going to be honest with you entirely. Paulie, we were texting the other day, and he's like, I've got I think you had the Padres on the little screen and the World Cup on the big screen.
Yeah.
And I was just flipping, just hitting last. I missed so much stuff. Yeah, in the game yesterday, I missed the first goal. I was like,
I have a small TV, like a 32-inch TV that sometimes I'll bring out into the living room when we know, hey, this is a 2-screener.
Yeah.
Or other times, like this weekend, I'll put one on the big screen with the sound, and then the other one just goes on the iPad, kind of on the coffee table, keeping tabs on it. But
I missed that first goal entirely.
Soccer is like if baseball, you could only score on a solo home run, and you never knew when it was going to happen.
Yeah.
So you couldn't ever predict. In baseball, that does happen, obviously. But you also have rallies, bases are loaded, they're changing pitching. I definitely want to be here for this next batter. In soccer, you just never know when the action is going to come. You can watch for 40 minutes and nothing happens.
And then in 2 goals
for 3 minutes, you come back and there were 2 quick goals. And it's like, I missed the most important part of the match when they scored twice quickly.
I get a chuckle out of, baseball. There's so much criticism from people about celebrations and over the top celebrations. And I thought, can you imagine if baseball home run celebrations looked like goal celebrations? Because you would think soccer fans or baseball fans would lose their mind watching soccer celebrations. If a bat flip pisses you off, they'll score a goal and the whole team runs onto the field.
Yeah.
The bench runs onto the field and they just dogpile and they take 6 minutes to reset. And I go, that's kind of crazy.
Well, we could remove the rule that if you hit a home run, you actually have to trot around the bases. You can just do whatever you want. You're sliding in the infield.
Go slide towards the pitcher.
Take your shirt off.
Straight to the outfield. Take your shirt off. Do whatever.
Jump into the crowd. I saw one guy do that.
After you hit a home run. Because you don't have to actually run around the bases. It's kind of just a formality. It's in the rules, but you could always change the rules if you wanted to create those kind of celebrations. By the way, not the only game today. Coming up at noon, another huge game. It's Spain against Portugal.
Wow.
Never been to either, but I've got to imagine that whole Iberian Peninsula thinks this is a pretty important soccer game.
How do they feel about each other? Is it like U.S. Canada?
I've got to imagine there's a rivalry there.
I would imagine.
Awfully close to each other. So I'm thinking that this is a pretty gnarly, rivalry game between these two teams in a actual World Cup elimination match.
I can't wait. I'm going to watch that one too. Fill my day with soccer match.
But right now we're going to fill our segment with some Reindl Report headlines.
Yes,
Paulie.
Fill us up, Paulie.
And get things started here with our today's edition of the Reindl Report.
Now tuned into the greatest.
Welcome to the Reindl Report with Paul Reindl.
Hey guys, it's Paul here.
Hi, Paul.
All right.
2 stories from the world of sports that we haven't gotten to yet.
We'll start off in Major League Baseball.
And 1 story that you didn't know you needed.
Are you laughing, biatch?
It's the Reindl Report.
Hey Paul, how you doing?
Okay, how are you?
I'm good. How are you doing today?
Okay, how are you?
On 97.3 The Fan.
Are you ready to bless the mood? I need some help, please.
That was good.
Can I get a yeah?
All right.
All right. Happy Monday, gentlemen. Good to be back here in the studio.
Great to be back.
All right, we'll get started here. Just a couple of minor notes in the NBA. This is the time of the offseason where the NBA gets a little chaotic. And if you tune out for a couple of days, you probably missed some blockbuster trades. And this one, I believe, happened on Wednesday night, like right after we got off the air. But the Celtics and the 76ers were agreed to a blockbuster trade in which you don't typically see with inter-conference rivals, teams that expect to both be competing for the Eastern Conference Championship. But the Celtics traded Jaylen Brown, which was widely expected that he would be moved from Boston. He's going to Philadelphia in exchange for Paul George and 2 first-round picks, 2 second-round picks, and I believe there was even one more in discussion, but for sure 4 top draft picks and Paul George. That's the move right there. And then also the news in the NBA for LeBron James. Rich Paul was on a podcast, and he said he included 10 teams on a whiteboard that LeBron is considering. The heavier favorites are going to be the Heat, the Cavs, the 76ers, and there was one more at least. I think the Warriors are still in the mix. Yeah.
Play with Steph Curry. You can go onto a super team now with the 76ers with Embiid and Jaylen Brown. You can go back to Miami, or you can finish where it all started in Cleveland.
Rich Paul said this is the first time that LeBron James is making a decision pressure-free. He's won already.
Right.
He's made good on his promise. He won in LA. He won in Cleveland. This is strictly for his happiness. What does that entail? It's a number of things. It's a bucket of happiness. It's basketball. It's living. It's camaraderie. It's competition. It's everything.
Okay. A bucket of happiness. I like that. A full bucket of happiness. It was a mind-blowing trade. Jaylen Brown, finals MVP for an aging Paul George. And you think, what are the Celtics doing? But then I saw this stat, which was crazy. Boston is 36-6 in the past 3 seasons without Jaylen Brown in their lineup.
All right.
They've played really well without him. So
addition by subtraction.
Yeah, and he was making a ton of money, and they have other options. I don't know. I mean, you always wonder when what is usually a very smart team does something that looks kind of odd, and you go, have they gotten dumb, or are they getting even smarter than everybody else with this move? I guess we'll find out.
All right, that's it for the basketball. We'll move over All-Star game coming up in just over a week, right? Next Tuesday in Philadelphia. And wanted to promote some local news here. So our girl Genevieve is one of the ball girls for the San Diego Padres, and she is a finalist to be the representative for the National League for the ball girl at the All-Star game. And it's down to 3 other girls in the National League, 3 in the American League. So she's been asking for votes. This happens until tomorrow night at midnight Eastern. So 8:59 on the West Coast tomorrow, Tuesday night. And it's very easy to vote. You can go to MLB.com/ABC ballot is just the easiest way to do it.
Just go to our social too.
You can go to our social. We have the links right there. You can vote as many times as you'd like. You just have to put in your name and your email address. You can vote again and again and again. So it's between Genevieve for the Padres. There is a girl for the Giants and a girl for the Pittsburgh Pirates as well. So
very simple.
One of those 3 will move on and represent the National League at the All-Star game. I think it'd be really cool to send our girl out there.
Do we know why we think she deserves it over the other 2 candidates?
Because she's on our squad.
Just loyal to the soil is what we're going with here. Is there no metrics? There's no who fields the most balls cleanly down the line or anything like that we can compare them against?
No.
So we're just blatantly
stuffing the ballot
for Genevieve.
Yes.
Yeah. Blatantly stuffing the ballot.
As best as we can.
Then let's do that and let's send her because we don't want Mason
the
Miller
Padres made a graphic
alone.
for Freddie Fermin to get some votes. So why can't we vote for Genevieve to go to
it would
the
be
All-Star
sad
game?
for Mason Miller just to be the only person representing the Padres in Philadelphia. So, let's send Genevieve to the game with Mason.
I'm currently voting right now.
Good. I voted as well. Ben?
Mason, he's your closer, I would assume, if you're
Dave
Roberts. Save him for the 9th if you got a lead, I think.
I think so.
Assuming. We'll find out next week.
I hope he doesn't pitch.
All right. Finally, we will wrap it up with one of the bigger stories from over the weekend, a real love story in New York City. No, I'm not talking about that wedding. Not that one. There was another love story in New
I was anchoring
York.
on Friday when the wedding happened, and our producer wrote the line for me to read on the prompter. Taylor Swift begins a new era of her life. And I thought, that's clever because that's the new era. Taylor's a new era of her life.
Yeah, it's a good one.
We're not talking about that.
No, I want to talk about something else. That was
hold on.
That was I've never seen anything like it.
All right, hang on.
The coverage.
I didn't watch. What was it? Saturday?
The wedding was Friday.
Friday. That was the Padres
4-3 loss.
4-3 loss. The excruciating one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was going on concurrently.
They're all excruciating.
They are.
At Madison Square Garden, right?
Yeah.
Did that.
Which I found to be actually pretty genius. There was if you wanted secrecy and privacy, that was the way of doing it.
How?
Have you seen a single picture from inside the wedding?
Not. There's not been any leaks.
They had
pictures.
They had like a man-made tunnel where people could get out of guests could get out of the car and not be seen. They were rushing food and everything.
I heard they turned like there was a castle inside or something, but we've seen no pictures.
You can drape off everything, and it doesn't even. You wouldn't even know you're in an arena.
Did you watch it? You can't
There
watch
was nothing to watch.
There's no.
I mean, there were some pictures of people arrivals in their
everybody
dresses and suits.
I mean, there was like
Mike Vrabel was there with his wife.
Joe Buck was there. With his wife.
Why is Vrabel?
It became became a game. Like my wife would just say, like, "Oh my God, so and so was there," and I go, "What the hell was their connection?" Like Brad Pitt was there, and I'm like, "Is he Taylor Swift's friend?"
Adam Sandler sung a song and performed the ceremony.
Officiant.
Performed the ceremony.
All right, we'll move on.
Somebody said about Travis. They go, "Oh, so this is the thing Travis got to pick for the wedding because she only let him have one. You get one." Choice
and he picks
something.
Adam Sandler.
I'll take Adam Sandler.
Do you? No, I wanted to talk about
She sang and he cried during the.
I cried at my wedding
during
too.
the vows.
I cried like a mother
Guilty?
during mine.
Well, I wanted to talk about a different New York love story.
Okay.
This happened on Wednesday. I think I saw it on Thursday morning when I woke up in our hotel in Chicago, and I go, "Is this AI? Is this did not really happen?" But it did really happen. The two people climbed the Empire State Building.
Yes.
Like free base. They had no
Free
equipment.
base?
I don't know. What,
free climb.
Free climb. I don't.
They were not free basing.
Free balling.
You can
Free
base
climbing.
jump from the top of the Empire State
You
Building,
could.
and you
They
can
did
free
not
climb
turn cocaine into crack up there. Free basing at the top of the Empire State Building. That's incredible.
Now, I think legally we are obligated to discourage
Do not do this.
any illegal activities. And yes, climbing.
Either free basing or free climbing. Either.
These people, I don't know exactly where they got through, how they got through any like doors to the rooftop.
No idea.
They didn't just get to the top of the roof or the observation deck, though. They climbed
The needle.
spire,
The spire.
the highest point on the tallest building. And I go, this is some of the craziest things I've ever seen. They had they've done this before. They've been in like a Netflix documentary. They're well known. They're on social media. They were arrested immediately as soon as they were back on the ground. But they flew a sign that said, where was it? It was a quote that's been attributed to Hendrix, at least. The sign or the flag that they flew on the top of the spire said, "When the power of love beats the love of power, the world knows peace." And I thought, all right, I like that. I actually like that quote.
It's a great quote.
And then while the helicopter footage, is swirling around them and everything's being caught on camera, the guy got down on one knee and proposed to his girlfriend. And they looked like she said yes. They kissed. They had a camera on a selfie stick. Some unbelievable footage.
Very attractive.
Saw a couple
couple
of the pictures
Very
that
attractive
were posted. Like I said, they were arrested. The thing that got me was air traffic control. The audio got leaked out a couple of days ago, and it might be the most New York thing I've ever heard. Take a listen to this.
Yeah, what's all the hoopla going on over there? Two geniuses climbed to the top of the Empire State Building, the top of the spire. Oh, that's awesome. It's not some worker changing a light, is it? Nah, it's a male, female, dressed in black. They had some flag they were waving when they were up at the top. And he just proposed to her.
That was a helicopter flying around.
Geniuses. They're free basing up there.
What's all the hoopla? Hey, a couple of geniuses.
Somehow New Yorkers have the ability to sound unimpressed by.
Yeah, what's all the hoopla going on over there? Two geniuses climbed to the top of the Empire State Building, the top of the spire.
I mean, shouldn't it be more like?
Oh my gosh,
two people are at the top of the spire of the Empire State Building.
They're just like,
Two geniuses climbed to the top of the Empire State Building.
How you doing? It's incredible.
Oh,
can you see, is it a worker changing a light?
He goes, that's awesome.
Hey, Ted, can you climb up and change the light? Please don't make me climb the spire today and change the light. I'm begging you. No. You get your ass up there. Take her with you and go up and change the light at the top of the Empire.
God. Two geniuses climbed to the top of the Empire State Building, the top of the spire.
Nicholas nails
it. Awesome.
He says New Yorkers have been exposed to every extreme. You're absolutely right. There is nothing that they haven't seen in that city.
Is that like air traffic control in Florida or something?
Right,
also, you're
right.
like, what? Nothing surprises us.
Nothing. It's like being a Padres fan. I mean, there's nothing that really should shock you. You know, nothing should shock you.
No.
Somebody said the other day, I can't after the 4-3 loss, is I can't watch tomorrow. I go, I'm actually kind of looking forward now to seeing what they'll do that I've never seen before. Like challenging the worst pitches of all time that are right down the middle. I'm so all in on watching this team go, what happened?
Yeah, we talked to Craig Stammen about it last Wednesday.
It's been worse.
They have not gotten
It's
better.
worse.
The challenges.
They
They
pitch,
just swing wildly back and forth between challenging when they shouldn't or not challenging when they should.
Gavin Sheets did not challenge a ball at his chin. It was at his chin. He's like, I'm good. Strike. I'm good. The next one down the middle, he's like, oh, challenge that one. Like
I will say yesterday, Xander Bogaerts, at least it was a high leverage pitch.
But it was such a strike.
though.
Were his eyes closed? Because it was like the most obvious strike you could see.
Did you guys see Randy Arozarena over the weekend? He blew both
first inning
challenges in the same first inning at bat.
I lost my mind. I could not believe it. First inning, 1 AB. He's like, I'm taking them both.
He was set on challenging this umpire.
Thanks a lot for that, Randy. Appreciate it.
Oh my God.
You see their face, just the level of like, they're so unsure. And Xander was like he just couldn't stop himself. Oh, man. It was so bad. They're so bad. I think they're second worst in baseball, if I'm not mistaken, at challenges. Like, those are the things that you could potentially clean up, on the margins that could help you a little bit. But because there were some borderline pitches later that Campy couldn't challenge because we were out, and could cost you.
He tried once.
Yeah.
Umpire said,
It's
nope.
the other thing. He's like, you've already burned yours. It is just unbelievable.
Paulie, thank you very much. When we come back, speaking of other baseball games, we got our MLB Reacharound, including a pitcher taken out with a perfect game through 7 innings yesterday. We'll get to all that coming up next. We'll also give away those opening day Del Mar tickets on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
Excuse me, quickly wanted to let everybody know out there, if you are a business owner.
Candy Morales with a home run. Vladimir Guerrero had 2 hits along the way.
If you're a business owner, CFO, or HR manager, it can be too complex to just buy your insurance policy online. Wanted to tell you about SuperSure. They are the super agency built for you, licensed in every state for your business insurance and employee benefits. They've got year-round support for you and your team. Listen, they realize your business runs all year. There's gaps, there's risk involved. And again, SuperSure, they'll help you. Their tools like the fine print facts, which translates your current policy into plain English, so you can see what's covered and what's not. A business value calculator. You can estimate what your business is actually worth, so you know what actually needs protecting. Just go to supersure.com. One super agency, one powerful platform, all your policies in one place. Go to supersure.com. That's supersure.com, paid for by SuperSure Insurance Agency, LLC, a licensed insurance agency.
Hey, player, this is all yours. This room with this view. This speakeasy with this cocktail. Hey, could you make that too? The spa with this. Ah. And this pool on this roof. This is all for you. The all-new Hamul Casino Resort, now open.
Baseball, it is time for our Monday MLB Reacharound.
Give it to me.
They're doing the Reacharound. They're doing the Reacharound. Everybody doing the Reacharound. We start with the NL West and tonight's opponent for the San Diego Padres, the Arizona Diamondbacks, who gave up 3 in the 7th. Eduardo Rodriguez, who's been probably their best and most consistent starter this year. The Padres will miss him in this series. Took the L, though, as the Milwaukee Brewers won the series with a 3-2 win over Arizona. We can look ahead in our next segment at the Arizona Diamondbacks, but they have very similar pitching woes.
Yeah.
Lots of injuries. Guys just have been kind of falling off the cliff here in the middle of the season, and you'll see that with some of the numbers of the starters they're going to throw up against the Padres this week. The Rockies got a 3-run home run in the bottom of the 8th inning from Kyle Karros to beat the Giants 7-6 and win their series in Colorado. The Chicago Cubs avoided a sweep by beating the St. Louis Cardinals 6-4. I don't know if you guys noticed. Remember that game we went to when the Cubs scored 23 runs?
I do remember it, Ben. Thanks for bringing it up.
Yeah. The next 2 games, they scored 1 total against the Cardinals.
I saw the Cardinals were up 17-1 or something.
Including the 17-1 loss. They went straight, because they had a day off on Thursday, so they went straight from a 23-3 win to a 17-1 loss in their next game. So transitively, the Cardinals would have beaten the Padres like 40-2 or something if they had faced each other like that. So the Cubs do avoid the sweep by getting the win. All right, here was the one that we teased. The Marlins' Yuri Perez pitched 7 perfect innings against the Athletics yesterday, but his pitch count was climbing.
92.
So they decided, being such a prized commodity in their staff, to take him out after just 92 pitches. Didn't give him a chance. Almost backfired, as the The Marlins gave up 8 runs in the final 2 innings, but somehow managed to hold on for a 9-8 win. Heriberto Hernandez hit 2 home runs as Miami completed the sweep, and one of the teams now the Padres need to chase down in the wild card race.
I mean, I must be getting soft in my old age because I saw this and I went, yeah, you're in the hunt, Marlins fan. Like, I understand a perfect game is so rare. 92 pitches through 7. I mean, Ben, conservatively, what are we talking about? Conservatively, we're talking about an extra
30 pitches.
30 pitches.
Yeah, if you get through the next 2 and an economical 15 each.
Makes me sick to my stomach to think about if I'm a Marlins fan. He had the chance, certainly, and that's amazing. He's coming off of injury, right? Like, I don't know. I saw this and go, dude, you're in it. You're in it. Like, personal gain.
You got a 7-0 lead at that point.
Right.
I just don't know. I think if you were going to do it after the 7th, because it's impossible. Let's say he pitches 20 pitches in the 8th.
He's at 112.
But he still has the perfect game. Then you can't take him out.
You can't take him out then. You know, and I think it's funny. I thought that there would be more prudent people about this. They were obviously really mad about it. And then I logged on this morning, and I'm going to pull it up right now. A guy who I think is really smart, Trevor May. We've had him on the show before. He does a podcast and writes a blog. He's as far as pitching stuff goes, he's pretty brilliant. He tweets this: pulling a starter after 7 perfect innings at 92 pitches is indefensible. And now he's a player. He was a former player. So he's all about protecting the investment and all that. Like, he's all about it. And he says, I understand the players are valuable. You must protect them. But they are human beings before they are your assets. The kid has an opportunity he may never get again. Let him see if he can pull it off. Clint Hurdle, former big league manager, weighs in. 6 outs from baseball history and an all-time achievement in our wonderful game. And I went, all right, I think you might have just flipped me on it. You might have to just let him rip. Is that defensible, though, if he gets hurt and misses his next?
It's defensible. Absolutely.
Letting him go for
letting him try to do something very special is, I think, always going to be defensible.
Yeah.
We
overthink
doesn't make it any less painful if you lose a starter like that for the rest of the season or something.
Yeah, especially because you're in it. Now, if you're the Marlins and you're not in it and you're not in the hunt, yeah, man, you let Yuri Perez go, in my opinion. But I think the fact that you're in it is probably what Clayton McCullough was thinking. And you know, can sleep well at night knowing, A, they won the game, but barely. They did win the game. Kid still pitched great, and he's ready for his next start.
All right, the Mets and Braves played a wild one. You know how Mud always says you got to keep it within slam range. We always laugh like, Mud, it's never going to happen. Why do you always say that? Well, the Mets were up 5-3 on the Braves going into the 9th. They scored 5 runs in the top of the 9th to take it out of slam range, which was pretty big because the Braves got the slam and 2 other runs in the bottom of the night. Drake Baldwin at the grand slam. They scored 6, but came up 1 short in a 10-9 loss. Dom Smith struck out with runners at 2nd and 3rd, tying and winning runs in scoring position to end it as the Mets held on for the 10-9 win over the Braves. The Pittsburgh Pirates beat the Washington Nationals 11-5. Pittsburgh wins the series. Both teams now sitting at 46 and 45, 1 game ahead of your San Diego Padres in the wild card race. White Sox and Guardians wrapped up their 4-game battle for first place with a 4-game split. The White Sox had to win their last 2 to get back into first place. They beat the Guardians 7-6 yesterday. The Mariners got 7 shutout innings from Emerson Hancock to beat the Blue Jays 4-0. The Blue Jays, Padres fans, cover your ears for a second, 24 straight scoreless innings for the Blue Jays to wrap up their series against the Seattle Mariners in that ALCS rematch.
We'll see them later this week.
The Blue Jays, yes. Yep. Coming in, struggling at the moment. The Astros blanked the Rays 2-0 on solo home runs by Christian Walker and Isaac Paredes to win that series. Tigers doubled up the Rangers 6-3. Tigers have the best record in the American League over the last 30 games at 18-12, but they're still pretty far out. I mean, playoff spot is 500, so they're not totally toast, but haven't made up a ton of ground. Riley Green, a home run and 4 RBI. Royals beat the Phillies 5-2 to snap a 4-game losing streak. That series actually wraps up today. I think they didn't play on Friday because of the World Cup game at Lincoln Financial. They didn't want to have, because we saw how close those stadiums are, so they did a Saturday, Sunday, Monday 3-game series. Twins beat the Yankees 6-1. By the way, Yankees are even in a worse spot than the Padres. They've lost 9 of their last 10 games, and they have really been struggling, falling out of first place in the AL East. Reds beat the Orioles 3-2 on a Spencer Steer 2-run home run as they avoided a sweep by Baltimore. And the Boston Red Sox beat the Los Angeles Angels 7-5 last night in Anaheim, as every game yesterday was broadcast by NBC Peacock. It's the first time they've ever done that in MLB history, where
a lot of people upset.
Full schedule, all on one network.
Oh, is that what it was?
That's what people were livid about, man. Because they pay for MLB TV and they couldn't watch games.
Right.
Because without subscribing to
national
Peacock.
NBC Peacock.
I didn't get to watch any of the Padres-Dodgers games because whatever reason, my MLB TV thinks I'm in Los Angeles. So anytime the Padres play the Angels or the Dodgers, I don't get to watch. I have to find other ways to do it. However,
you had the Dodgers feed, right?
Yeah, so I was able to find it, and it was only the Dodgers feed. So I had Steven Nelson and Jess Mendoza.
We all kind of had a half Dodgers feed yesterday with Oral Hershiser. It
was excruciating.
But Jake Peavy was good.
He was fine.
It was fine.
He didn't talk much.
He wasn't worth listening through Oral.
Correct. Normally Oral's great, but not so much on that broadcast last night.
But
he sucks so bad. I can't stand him.
About 4:00 though, I was in my office. I turned on Peacock just to get some of the pregame, get the game ready. And I was like, wow, there's a lot of baseball happening right now. I had no idea they had all.
It wasn't blacked out. It just wasn't on MLB TV. You weren't missing anything. No one did their games. Don and Mud. None of the local teams did.
So if you didn't have Peacock, you couldn't watch baseball yesterday.
It was all national yesterday.
It was awful.
I don't know why they did that, but they did it.
Benetti's
money
great.
Is why they did it.
Benetti's great. Having this guy represents the Padres and this guy represents the Dodgers was horrible.
So
he's yelling at one point. He was yelling for the ball to get foul. Right?
Yeah.
Get foul.
Yeah,
get
I
foul.
saw that.
Right?
So wait, did NBC have 15 different broadcast booths?
I think so. Yeah.
Damn.
I mean, I'm sure they used a lot of the local announcers in all the markets, one from each team, sort of
thing.
They
had to get 15 play-by-play guys.
It was so awful. So happy to win that game with Oral there watching. He was such an excruciating listen. He's an excruciating listen. The smarminess that drip. And listen, you won the last 2 World Series. Congratulations, right? But the way that he was talking about how they don't tolerate things.
I was
sick.
He said, "You'll never find a sympathetic ear in the organization." I'm going, is that a good thing?
Dude, I thought the same thing. He goes, "You'll never find a sympathetic ear."
We're just a bunch of hardos.
Yeah. He said, "Well, you'll never find a sympathetic ear. So if you're having a hard time and you don't like your role, nobody will listen." They just, okay.
Okay, that's something to be
proud of? Yeah, very odd, man. Oh, they'll treat you like family. Well, I don't know. I listen to my family. I'm a sympathetic ear to my family. Very diametrically opposed things that he was saying. He just comes off as so condescending. So condescending. And I guess when you win the last 2 World Series, you can be. But I'm just telling you my read on it was an excruciating listen. He had a Dodgers pocket square in, by the way. So I don't know that we need to do this bit. Just get some guys that call the game like they call the game. Call the game down the middle, which is what we want.
All right, before we take our final time out, we got a pair of tickets to give away to the party at Opening Day at Del Mar. It is next Friday, July 17th. Tickets include opening day admission and exclusive access to the party, complete with world-class DJs, craft beers, and cocktail bars, photo booths, and private wagering. Tickets at dmtc.com. It's a 21 and over event, but you can win a pair right now by being the third caller at 833-288-0973. 833-288-0973. When we come back, looking ahead to the 4-game series that starts tonight at Petco Park against the Arizona Diamondbacks. Broadcasting live from the Bill House Studios, we know how. Ben and Woods wrapping it up on a Monday on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
He just, here, I'll show you a little. Just a little.
Please don't.
Just a little bit. What hurts on you?
Nothing at all.
A little bit.
Nothing. Now,
so let's say
whatever you're about to touch is the only thing.
Let's say
it's going to hurt.
Right?
All right, yeah.
Okay.
Pretend your knee hurts.
Pretend your knee hurts.
It's going to in a second.
Right here.
Oh, that is not pleasant.
Pool on this roof. This is all for you. The all-new Hamul Casino Resort, now open.
You may.
What is your problem?
It's always the same question,
It's
isn't
the same question. The turd in the punch bowl. Paulie and I, big ladle of punch, just drinking punch.
What did I do
And then
now?
here comes the turd in the punch bowl.
What did I do now?
Your text this weekend about the cool thing that we got offered tomorrow.
I agreed to it.
You were like...
You made me feel stupid.
Me too. I felt like an idiot,
because
Paulie.
I was so excited to tell you guys about the phone call that
I got the
received.
phone call too.
You got the same phone call.
I was elated.
And I go, this is huge. I was like, my jaw was on the floor.
Yes.
I told my wife, she goes, what's going on? And I told her, she goes, whoa.
Yeah, Hannah
and then
too.
I texted you guys, and this guy over here,
Ben
Ben
wasn't
Higgins.
wrong to be a little unsure, hesitant, or nervous about something. That's all I was expressing.
What you did not express anything nervous. I'm going to read it. You know what you did. Well, anyway, it was Saturday. I'm walking to my house, and I get a phone call from the great friend of the program, Brett Boone.
Hear him every Wednesday on our SDCCU fan hotline. It's not big bank banking, it's better.
That's right. And I said, why is Brett Boone calling me on a weekend? What does he want? Does he want to just shoot the breeze about the current state of the
He wants
Padres?
to
Because I'm
join
down.
The GOAT's coaching staff.
But,
as an
I would take him
assistant to Stephen Woods.
Can you imagine he's my assistant? Brett, can you get those balls? Go ahead and put the tarp back on the mound. Thanks, pal. I'll see you at the next practice. So, damn it, where is it? We text a lot. I can't find it either. Anyway, Brett Boone says, Woodsy. Oh, here we go. I got it. He goes, Woodsy, I go, yeah, Booney, how you doing? He goes, good. He goes, I have an idea. I want to run it by you. I said, all right, shoot. And he said, what would you guys think about coming on my podcast, the Brett Boone podcast? And I go, are you joking? I go, for what? And he goes, it'd be fun, man. We'll turn the tables a little bit.
Yeah, you guys grill me every week on your show. I thought it would be fun to have you three on and grill you. And
he goes, I think my audience will like it. I think your audience will like it. I go, dude, I'm honored. I said, I am absolutely honored to be asked on your podcast. Because I'll say this. I get asked to be on a lot of podcasts. None of them with the cachet that the Brett Boone podcast has. I'll be honest with you. And so I said, dude, it would be incredible. Whatever you need, happy to do it. So then I get Paulie's calling me while I'm on the phone with him. So I have to decline his call. Then I
knew
call
you were probably on the phone with Booney.
So I call Paulie back. I'm like, bro, this is amazing. He's like, I'm so excited. You know, one of Paulie's favorite players when he was a kid.
Yeah.
And so then Paulie sends this. On a completely different note, something awesome just happened. And I said, yes, in all exclamation points. Now, he did not call you or text you. He doesn't have your number.
No, I know none of this is happening.
She says, we've been invited to be on the Brett Boone podcast this week. Booney called and said, since we always grill him, he'll like to flip the tables and grill us. Same podcast that said, yes, like Ken Griffey Jr., Barry Bonds, Greg Maddux wants us on. He said, ideally, Monday or Tuesday would be best. We could do it after the show if it works, like 30 minutes. I said, I'm down to do it Tuesday after the show. Ben writes back, yes, that's fine. Paul says, cool, I'll let him know. I said, you don't seem very excited.
Okay, so yes, that's fine was more of the timing. Yes, that's fine, the Tuesday timing. But then I did have some hesitancy because you said Brett Boone has people like Ken Griffey Jr. and Greg Maddux on. And I'm going, what on earth do I have to offer a podcast that is used to the likes of Ken Griffey Jr. and Greg Maddux?
So then Ben writes back, quote, I'm not that excited. No idea what I can contribute for Booney's audience, but I'll roll with it. And I sent back the emoji. He then just now promoted it. He's already promoted it. Put it on our Instagram.
Well, I'll be there.
I know. I'm thinking now maybe we don't want you there at this point.
It would be weird if I wasn't there now. So,
well, I could just tell him he doesn't want to do this.
I mean, you've already committed us, so I have no choice.
Really. I did.
I didn't think it would be that controversial.
I thought he would be super excited.
I get asked a million things that you guys, they don't even make it onto your radar because I know you don't want to do it and we just decline it.
Oh, do you really? Tell me about those? Because I'm like,
I'll start sending you every request.
I'm like, look at Paulie taking bullets for it.
But this is one
I appreciate.
I thought I would be totally within my rights to be like, yes, I will commit us. I got to figure out the timing and the date and all that. But we'll figure it out. I know the guys want to do this.
Well, I certainly wasn't going to say no. I'm just surprised that he asked. Honestly.
Believe you me, I was surprised too. But when you get the answer you're looking for, you just take it.
It was like 11 a.m. on Friday or Saturday, whatever it was.
And
I go, why the hell is he Boone calling me?
It was wild. He said, quote, I'm not that excited about it. I was like,
I'm nervous because I'm nervous.
Were you like did you have a bad golf round or something? Like what is it?
I'm used to interviewing people. I'm not used to being interviewed. I don't do a lot of the other end of the.
Elisa says it makes sense to me. Ben likes being in control of a situation. Yeah, let yourself go.
That's tough for me. Just sit back and just let someone else.
You know what this is?
The reins of the.
You know what this is called? Growth. It's growth. You're growing. Proud of you.
Okay.
All right. We'll see how we do tomorrow.
All right. Maybe I'll be spectacular.
Could be.
Maybe I'll be the new permanent guest.
You never know.
Brett Boone podcast going forward.
You never. That's what I'm saying. Is these roads, they lead to bridges, and you cross a bridge, and next thing you know, you and Brett Boone are at the All-Star game together. You never know what may happen, right? You did a radio show with Steve Kerr at one point. You know, it's crazy. Just go with the flow a little bit. And be excited about it.
Maybe I can be. Who's on the Pat McAfee show that just sits there?
Oh, AJ Hawk.
I can be AJ Hawk, and I can just be there. And
you couldn't
just stare.
You know damn well you couldn't sit and not say anything. Time. You know damn well you're not. But is it just? What did it? You know, there's no chance.
I know. I'll come up with some.
Well, I'm excited.
Some stuff
man.
to say.
I'm excited, and hopefully the audience is excited to hear it too. what the hell is he going to ask us?
I don't know.
So
That's part of it. What is he going to ask us?
That's fun.
I don't
so
know.
that's kind of what I was asking him. I'm like, you have a national podcast.
Right.
Like, we're not going to just talk about nothing but Padres.
Right.
He goes, no, I don't really want to talk like specific this time of the season baseball stuff. He's like, I want to talk about your relationship with players as part of the media.
Yes.
And how you guys plan your show throughout the year and stuff like that.
We don't.
All right. Yeah, I was like, that'll be easy. We
All
don't.
right. All right. I am.
You're letting go.
I'm trying to let go.
Good for you.
I'll try to look forward to it.
Take a deep breath. You can do it.
All right. And we'll be able to break it down with Brett on Wednesday when he joins us.
It's a whole cross-promotion, beautiful thing here.
All right. Coming up today, Padres open their 4-game series against the Arizona Diamondbacks. Walker Buehler trying to bounce back from what was, well, clearly the worst start, really, probably of his life.
I mean, it was excruciatingly
I don't know,
bad.
like when he was 10 years old in Little League, if he got roughed up once, but my guess is he didn't. So I'm guessing that he's trying to bounce back from the very worst start of his life today.
Can I say that I've never had a start that bad? I don't know many that have. Holy cow, that was terrible.
I do feel like if there's someone who's equipped to bounce back,
it's him.
Walker Buehler's probably the guy. He'll go up against Brandon Pfaadt, who's, if you'll remember, has had plenty of success against the Padres in the past. He has come off the injured list, did pitch okay in his last start, but a very mediocre season with a 5.40 ERA so far for the Diamondbacks. And that's kind of the theme of this series.
Yeah.
Tuesday, Zach Gallen. Ooh, Zach Gallen. Zach Gallen has a 6.36 ERA. He's given up 35 runs in his last 7 starts.
Crazy,
he has
man.
been
You gotta take it to these
absolutely
guys.
lit up. And then Jose Cabrera, young guy they brought up against Michael King on Wednesday night. And it'll be Merrill Kelly, who's been exceptionally mediocre on Thursday against Griffin Canning, or opener in Griffin Canning, whatever the plan currently is for your San Diego Padres. The only question is who's starting for the Padres tomorrow. Talked to Dennis about that. Could be Herman Marquez, could be Johnny Brito getting called up. But as Dennis warned us, Johnny Brito has no more options. So if you call him up, you cannot send him back down without exposing him to waivers, which may make the Padres hesitant to bring him up at all this season.
Say he's hurt.
You can do that as well, which is, well, why they brought Herman Marquez back up, because they would have had to expose him to waivers because his rehab assignment was coming up to the 30 days. Same thing should be happening to Matt Waldron any day soon as well. So it could be him that comes up. Don't know how AJ is going to manipulate it all, but they do have an undecided for the starting pitcher for tomorrow night's game.
Such a, as you mentioned earlier, such a pivotal key series as most of them are right now. You've lost a lot of fan support over the last 8-9 days. You have. There's no doubt. I see it. I feel it. I felt it. You know, a guy DM'd me last night. My man Kevin, met him in Chicago. We've DM'd for years. Finally got to meet Wrigley Field. He's like, "How do you feel, man?" He goes, "I'm not really a doomer." He goes, "I'm dooming." I go, "Man, I'm just. It's the manner in which they're losing. It has a big part of it." And I said, "You look at it and you don't really see a bright light at the end of the tunnel. You don't." This year. And I said, it's hard. It's a hard thing to yeah, I'm still watching every game, every inning. You know, I'm not missing the thing. And it's not because I have to. It's because that's what I do. That's who I am. That's who you are. That's who Paulie is. Like, that's who we are. And it can go a long way, man. It can go a long way winning 5 games in a row. You know, 4 games in a row, 3 games in a row. Hell, 2 games in a row at this point would be a 3-game winning streak. That'd be incredible. It can go a long way to get some people back in your corner. You know, people. If you have an opinion of Craig Salmon that you don't want him as manager, that's not going to change more than likely. It's just not. You know,
I had so many texts and DMs, people going, "Somebody's got to be fired." There's no way somebody can come back from
I
this.
actually did think I was like, somebody's may need to get fired on this team. Like,
I thought if
like
they didn't get fired
Monday.
after the Chicago series, I was like, well, they're at least going to let them finish off the road trip before making any, you know, big decisions like that. I thought after that Cubs series, I was so dejected. I'm like,
so
you know
dejecting.
what? I don't think this is all Steven Souza Jr.'s fault. I don't think this is all Craig Stammen's fault. But
somebody's got to go.
You got to do something just to do something now.
You know, it's pitching's been the big problem, but
I'm not firing
I don't
Ruben.
want to fire Ruben Nicholas, so
No
I guess
chance.
you don't really have a lot of moves to make.
Even he's taking criticism.
We'll
now.
see. Yeah, I mean, if you win a couple here, you'll start feeling a little bit better, but you got to take them one at a time.
Winning
We'll talk
cures
about it
everything.
tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. Braden and Frank are next. For Paulie Reindl, Stephen Woods, I'm Ben Higgins. Have a great rest of your Monday from all of us here at San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.